run, save, timeout, nope, stepped out of bounds. Michigan State with the turnover.
And I thought Mateen had a layup. I thought he was going to take it in, and I thought Hudson thought he was going to take it in.
So a 3-point game with 1:15 to play, and Indiana's out of timeouts.
Watch for A.J. Guyton. And when they double him up, one of his teammates is going to find an opening and may get an open look.
Bell is on Guyton. Guyton tries to pull Indiana to within one as a foul is called on Charlie Bell. Bell is fouled out of the game, and you can see the anguish on the face of Coach Tom Izzo. Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Mateen Cleaves from Michigan State, A.J. Guyton from Indiana, and Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need.
Well, both leaders, both seniors, and they have showed the reasons why their ball clubs rely on them so much.
David Thomas will check in. Bell will lead with 13 points, 7 rebounds. Bobby Knight has already lost a player. That was Michael Lewis a bit earlier in this half. 1 minute exactly remains in regulation with Michigan State leading by 3.
And Thomas comes in really for his defensive purposes. Talked about his ball game the other night against Penn State. Joe Crispin outstanding the second half against that guy. Crispin didn't get many easy looks, only had 5 points that half.
And Thomas playing with the stress fracture in his foot too, the same ailment that Anaganye has and that Mateen Cleaves had. And the free throw is up and in by Guyton, a very good free throw shooter, almost 80%.
And you see it, Bobby Knight bringing his players. 3 players came over because he has no timeouts, giving instructions, making sure everybody's on the same page. They can relay the information to Guyton and Richardson, who stayed out on the floor.
A.J. Guyton again, one of the top players in the Big Ten, hitting another free throw, and it's a 1-point game with the 5th-ranked Spartans leading by a point. Cleaves in the lane, up and down. What a play by Mateen Cleaves. And Michigan State leads at 72-69. Indiana is out of timeouts. Cleaves with 16 of his 19 in the second half.
And they don't need a 3 yet, but if it's available, they'll take it. Plenty of time on the shot clock and game clock.
Guyton again, he's been the answer all day. He's got 30, and we are tied at 72.
And shot clock is off. Surprised they don't go foul Hudson.
Timeout, Michigan State.
Can't get to the post office. Now the post office is wherever you are.
Tied at 72 with 17 seconds to play. Indiana is out of timeouts.
And my fault, I thought it was a 2-pointer, but obviously so they wouldn't foul. Take a look at Guyton's inside the line, see if he gets back behind it. Hard to see behind the head. Well, I actually, from our angle, I thought it was a 2 even when he released it.
But they call it for a 3, and that ties the game at 72. Guyton's got 30 points. Another timeout. Oh, it's a turnover. He did not call the timeout in time. Indiana gets it. 17 seconds to play. A 5-second violation. Granger tried to call the timeout, but he was too late.
And now the Hoosiers, they want one shot. Obviously expect Guyton to have it. Cleaves the matchup on Guyton.
Here comes Guyton and Cleaves.
And they are clearing out. Let him go to work.
Working inside for the lead. It was partially deflected. And out of bounds it goes. 1.9 seconds remain. Michigan State will inbound. They do have a timeout to call. And And Tom Izzo says, no, let's just play it. And Peterson, good if it goes. And we've got overtime at Assembly Hall here in Bloomington, Indiana. And an all-important game for the Indiana Hoosiers. First place, Michigan State will take Indiana to overtime. So overtime at Assembly Hall. We're tied at 72.
What's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
Thinking about hair loss? Well, now there are effective FDA-approved treatments for men's hair loss. What are you waiting for? Call your doctor today or call 1-800-MERC-12 to find out more. Merck, helping make hair loss history.
Indiana's A.J. Guyton has scored 30 of their 72 points. Overtime records of both. And Michigan State on top of the Big Ten by a half game is an overtime with Indiana. And again, Indiana has not beaten Michigan State here since January of '97. There's the game reset. Michigan State has won 9 of 10 games in the Big Ten, 4 in a row. And Bobby Knight is trying to get out of a tailspin, John Sunbolt. His team has lost 3 of 4 coming into this afternoon.
Impressive comeback, though, the last 2.5 minutes of this ball game. Difficult shots hit down the stretch. Michael Lewis, their ball handler leader, fouled out with 3:45 left in the game.
What makes this game so important for Indiana is they play Purdue on Tuesday, and Purdue is right back at Michigan State. So a very difficult two-step they've got to perform with today against Michigan State, and then Indiana against Purdue on Tuesday night. It's Granger picked up by Washington. Hudson inside, plowing his way, and cleaves for 3. And
Big
State
time.
on top.
He is big time. Clutch performer. Steps up. What a second half he has had.
And again, Charlie Bell is fouled out of the game for Michigan State. Dane Fife picked up by Thomas. And he is inside with a drive across the lane. And Thomas with the drive, a screen by Hudson, the rebound by Fife.
Indiana wants to spread this Spartan team out defensively. Spread them out. See if they can create some things to the hoop.
Good move by Guyton inside. That shifty fake, that seductive move, and he goes in, giving Indiana a 1-point lead.
At 2 possessions, they spread them out well enough. They've had 2 layups point blank.
Mateen Cleaves throws it away. His 7th turnover. And the 23rd turnover for Michigan State today. On deck, number 2, Duke against St. John's. Coming up next with Jim Nance and Billy Packer out in Tobacco Road. 76-75, Indiana, with 3.5 to play in overtime.
Fife, Hornsby want this offense to continue to move. Make Michigan State guard. If you have a layup, you take it. Wide open shot, yeah, but you're looking for Guyton on the move.
Guyton draws the double. Now it's just Peterson. And Guyton inside. What a shot! A paralyzing move by A.J. Guyton. 34 points. The leading scorer in the Big Ten with a spectacular day.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Yes!
That's 3 for me and 9 for you.
Come on, use the golf lingo.
1 birdie, 1 quintuple bogey.
That's all I'm asking. Now let's talk about something I know.
All right.
What's the AT&T 1 rate 7 cent plan?
Calls are just 7 cents a minute. All day, every day.
All right.
7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Okay, I'm thinking of a number from 1 to 1 billion.
7.
Oh, you're good. You're very, very good.
Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
It's incredible. The most advanced shave is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Mach 3. Easy error-free loading, easy open flow rinsing, and 3 blades that shave progressively closer in 1 easy stroke. Mach 3. The closest shave in fewer strokes with less irritation. It's the easiest way to the closest shave. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Hey, buddy, you looking for a job? Brother, you came to the right place. I got hot jobs, cool jobs, jobs that are absolute monsters. Just go and take your pick. You got me? Come on, right this way.
Tired of internet job sites that lead you nowhere? Log on to kforce.com with over 2,000 recruiting specialists whose only job is to get you the job. kforce.com. Opportunity has a new address.
A.J. Guyton, coming off a season-low 3 points against Illinois a couple nights ago, has put in a career-high 34 points today.
Well, the emergence of his offensive game. Struggled at Illinois, only played a few minutes. That game was over. Bobby Knight sat him out, and A.J. has reloaded, and his gun this afternoon, he has been fabulous.
Ranger, Cleaves, Jason Richardson, Hudson, and Mo Peterson out there for Michigan State. Here comes Cleaves. A lot of turnovers, but a lot of points, and a dazzling display here in the second half. Cleaves inside, shoves one up. Rebound retrieved by Richardson. Here comes Indiana, leading by 3. Now this is a big possession.
Well, and solid defensive job. They didn't give Cleaves any look at his teammates. Handle the ball, continue to move, make the defense wear down. Use the shot clock to your advantage.
Peterson is on Guyton. They got Granger there to double. Hornsby inside. Shoved by Granger was Richardson.
And Richardson developed good low post position. Hornsby put it right on the money. And those things are going to happen for teammates when you've got another guy scoring over 30 points.
Number 2 Duke against St. John's just underway. We'll go immediately to that game when this overtime is finished. 78-75. Indiana on top by 3. This free throw by Richardson. Kevin Harlan and John Sunbold with a disgruntled Bobby Knight on the sideline.
Well, you mentioned Richardson, 54% free throw shooter. He made the big 2 down the stretch. Both of them kind of hit a lot of iron and a lot of backboard, but they went in.
4-point lead. Indiana's biggest lead today has been 5, and that was back in the first half. St. John's leading Duke by 5, as you can see, as Peterson feeds to Granger for 3. Rebound fought for, claimed by Hudson, muscling his way, and a foul is called inside on Indiana.
Well, still no time for urgency, but what a rebound by Andre Hudson. Just simply stronger than the Indiana players and wanted this basketball more. Well, he just took it away from Richardson. Strong enough to get it back up almost. An attempt almost went in.
Michigan State coming into today the #1 free throw shooting team in the Big Ten. And today 17 of 24. That is 70%. John, there is a much bigger issue here for Michigan State. They're not only trying for the Big Ten crown, but they are maneuvering for the top seed. Not much room for error either. No team with 7 losses has ever received a #1 seed in the tournament, and Michigan State comes in 21-6.
If they could run the table and the Big Ten Conference, I think they're a #1 seed. If they're in the Midwest region, that's a question. If regional is at Auburn Hills in Michigan, Obviously, Michigan State would love to be playing there.
You know Cincinnati's going to be there. You're going to see Duke in a couple minutes. They're going to be there, and so will Stanford. It's that other team now that's missing. 79-77, Indiana on top by 2 points. They've trailed most of the second half after missing every shot they took in the first 5 minutes to open up the second half of play here in Bloomington this afternoon.
Shot clock down to 10. Guyton will simply go one-on-one. Oh, what a move.
For 3. Rebound is ruled in by Larry Richardson, and hailing the rebound. A new shot clock with 1:24 to play.
The second time Richardson has come up with big offensive rebound. One at the end of regulation, and now this one in overtime.
They tag Peterson on Guyton, and Fife is guarded by Cleaves. Look at that shot clock.
10 seconds.
Guyton again on a career day of 34 points. Threw it against Cleaves. 4 seconds to shoot. The ball ricocheted off Cleaves. 4 seconds on the shot clock as Tom Izzo shows you there with his fingers. And Indiana up by 2 will inbound.
We want solid defense, not allow open looks.
And Richardson missing everything. Rebound is gobbled up by Hudson. They call it a shot clock violation. Did not get off in time.
Didn't hit the rim. Good job by the official, Steve Wilmer.
Well, what do you look for here with under a minute to play?
Obviously, Cleaves controls everything, and if he can take it all the way he does, Tom Izzo probably wants a timeout.
First place, Michigan State trailing by 2 at Indiana with 48 seconds to play in overtime.
We need a car?
A minivan.
No.
An SUV.
With leather.
Blue.
Green.
Bluish green.
Introducing Autotrader.com with 1.5 million used cars updated daily. It's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Now we need insurance.
And a loan.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Indiana has lost 2 in a row, 3 of 4. They haven't had a 3-game losing streak in 3 years, John, but to get back in the picture in the Big Ten, a win today was imperative.
Well, it really is, and it doesn't get easier for them. You mentioned they got Purdue in here on Tuesday. Then they travel to Wisconsin, and going to Wisconsin and trying to play there is obviously worse than going to the dentist. I mean, you're gonna be in that 50 to 46 ball game, and Dick Bennett's squad is going to really tighten it down.
It's Granger. Cleaves is by him, and Cleaves will get it. Shot clock is down to 10.
Better go.
Good screen by Hudson. That knocks out Guyton. Richardson for 3, and the lead missing inside. Hudson up and down for the tie at 79.
Hudson has come up with the big rebounds and big putbacks in this overtime.
Indiana has a timeout, 1 left, and they burn it right there. They'll have the ball. 14.8 seconds to play. Buckle up. We're tied at 79.
It's you against him, against her, and who knows who else, all going for the same job. So what's gonna set you apart? Kforce.com. For the first time, the power of the internet is backed by over 2,000 Kforce recruiting specialists to help you break through.
He's the one.
Kforce.com. Opportunity has a new address.
Indiana's got the ball. They're out of timeouts. So what did Coach Knight tell his team?
Trying to create mismatch for Guyton to go one-on-one, but all the teammates have to recognize if their guys helps out, step in the passing lane, see if you can get an open look and knock in the jump shot. For Tom Izzo, solid defense. Don't let A.J. Guyton beat you. Somehow double team if he goes to the hoop. Challenge all jump shots.
Indiana with Washington, Guyton, Haston, Hornsby, the freshman, and Dane Fife. And here we go. Final seconds ticking off in overtime.
Double screen down low for A.J. Guyton. Good help by Cleaves. Oh, he's got Hudson. He can take the bigger man.
For the lead. Short. Up and down. Michigan State has a timeout. Michigan State calls the final timeout.
So I got off the elevator and said, what is this, the 7th inning stretch? American Express.
Lovely.
Let's do the whole country. I'm a little light on the lingo.
Getting a full gander down the front with me.
All right.
We've got Cornish pasties, bangers and mash, pumpkin sweet, and a lovely toadle.
That was a wicked googly. So I took the butchers up the apples and pears and said, what is this, the tea interval? All over the world, you can do more with the American Express card.
Well, after Lynn Washington scored his first 2 points of the game to give Indiana the lead with 0.5 of a second remaining, that was Bobby Knight's reaction. And this was Tom Izzo's reaction at the other end of the floor.
Well, how often have we seen a shot go up when it hits nothing? Usually the offensive player steps in somewhere and gets it in Washington. Right place, right time. Now they look for a home run. They only got 0.5 of a second to get it up. It's got to be quick.
The former high school quarterback Cleaves trying to throw a touchdown pass, and that's it. And Indiana has upset number 5 Michigan State.
What a win for Bobby Knight and his Hoosier team.
Indiana beats Michigan State here for the first time in 3 years. For John Sunvold, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Assembly Hall with a final score in overtime. Indiana 81, 5th-ranked Michigan State 79. Coming up next at St. John's against Duke. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home to the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Okay, heads up. I'm quitting smoking. Again.
So, Dr. Jekyll, when should we expect Mr. Hyde?
You're looking at Hyde. I quit Saturday. This time, Nicoderm CQ.
Has Carol moved out yet?
Nope. In fact, she's tickled pink.
He does seem normal.
I am normal. This is CQ. Helps calm the cravings 24 hours a day, even when you first wake up.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Guys, relax.
Before you do this or this or this, you want to have this and this and this.
You'd be surprised how much of our technology goes into your day.
So for this or this.
We're Siemens.
We can do that.
CBS presents the untold story behind Jean-Benet Ramsey's murder.
Did you kill your daughter?
You were going down the wrong road.
Perfect murder, perfect town. CBS Sunday.
For king-size comedy, the address is CBS.
Who says you can't have it all? With $2,000 cash back or 0-9 financing for up to 60 months and $500 cash plus 5-star safety, you can have it all on the 2000 Ford Windstar. Add anti-lock brakes, the most powerful engine in its class, and over 40 standard safety features, and you have more than you ever dreamed. Have it all. 2,000 cash or 0-9 for up to 60 months and 500 cash plus 5-star safety at your local Ford store.
When dieting and exercise don't give you the results you want, lipotherapy can. At the Lipotherapy Institute, we use exclusive techniques and the latest technology to bring you liposuction for the new millennium. To learn how a surgeon with the vision of an artist can restore your confidence and self-esteem, contact any of our 3 Chicago locations. The Lipotherapy Institute, where science and medicine become art.
Volkswagen owners really love their cars. So we're not surprised that the Passat was ranked most appealing car in its class by J.D. Power & Associates.
Martin Scorsese. Tonight, 6:30, CBS 2 Chicago.
Jim Nance, Billy Packer, we welcome you to Cameron Indoor Stadium on the Duke University campus. The Blue Devils on a 15-5 run after being down 5 early. Freshman Jason Williams tries to bank it home. St. John's currently second in the Big East. Duke having already clinched the ACC crown. Barkley with a jumper comes up short. Horvath with the rebound for Duke.
Horvath the other night against Wake Forest, knowing that he's going to see much more playing time now with Dunleavy out. And a big ball game. It's a very good shooter from the wings.
Battier with a quick turnaround.
Picking up right where he left off the other night, as I said, his biggest offensive production of his career.
Mike Jarvis wants to talk about it. Battier had 34 points in a win over Wake Forest earlier in the week to clinch the ACC for a 4th straight year.
The firm loves you.
Nobody can beat our offer.
Stanley, please. Just yesterday, a startup in Frisco made a mockery of your signing bonus. A firm in New York laid the smackdown on your 401k, and a righteous place in Chicago made your starting salary look like cab fare.
You know what? I don't like you, but I'll give you what you want.
Cool.
Play your hand at hotjobs.com. All the best jobs and the tools to find them at Hot Jobs, the hottest hand on the web.
Duke is ranked 2nd in the country. St. John's is unranked, but just 1 slot outside of the rankings. Duke has a win streak of 64 in a row over teams that are unranked.
As I said before, kind of a misnomer not to have this St. John's team ranked in the top 25 in the nation. There's Duke trying to switch, and St. John's taking advantage of it.
So Battier pulls it down. Duke on some kind of roll right now. Boozer for 2 more.
Jim, there we go back to the technique I talked about. For big men to get ready to shoot before they catch the ball. Boozer was ready that time, unlike the first 2 occasions he touched it.
St. John's has missed its last 6 from the field.
Now watch this switching by Duke in this man-to-man. You get in some unusual matchups. Here's Battier on Barkley. Now he's got to get some help, and does from Boozer. Now Boozer on Barkley. Tough one.
Stripped away by Battier, last year's National Defensive Player of the Year.
And notice that Duke did not double down on Glover, so Battier was set with him all alone.
He wants it, and he gets it.
Unbelievable.
Battier with 11, including 3 threes.
We're talking about a man who last year was considered offensively a role player. Now he's stepping up as being one of the premier forwards that we've seen on this floor.
Gray spins outside. Bootsy Thornton.
He loves it.
3 more. And for those just joining us, Bootsy Thornton last year against Duke scored 40 points.
7 for 11 from 3 in that ball game. One of the things that Duke cannot afford to do is to go ahead and double up on Gray on the drive and leave Thornton wide open.
9-point Blue Devil lead.
There's a place in America where the sun shines a little brighter in the month of March, where the townfolk reminisce of peach baskets and parquet, where the fruits of hard labor are served up with a smile.
Freshly baked finger rolls.
And folks who visit are always invited to stay as long as they can. Welcome to Bracketville.
Bill Kelly just rewrote his will. To his wife, he'll leave 2 homes and his investment portfolio. He'll leave other assets to his children. All his beneficiaries are here. All except the IRS, who could get 2/3 of everything. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Welcome aboard Flight 211 to Cleveland, with continuing service to Helsinki, on our way to Cairo, across to Beijing, looping around Kuala Lumpur before making a U-turn back to Cleveland. Our estimated flying time is 2 weeks, 7 hours, and 12 minutes.
Can't do it in life? Do it on the web with the power of a Pentium 3 processor at Intel's Web Outfitter service. Get it at Intel.com.
So what's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by Solomon Smith Barney. See how we earn it. The Intel Pentium 3 processor. Don't just get onto the internet, get into it at Intel.com. And by the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
We're back at Cameron, as always. Filled to the max, over 9,000 here. Battier left open in the corner. Not this time, and the Red Storm gets a little break opportunity. Barkley lost control of it, stripped away somewhat.
Well, Williams got a good block coming from behind, but Williams did not fill in the gap on that long jump shot. He should have been in position for an offensive rebound. Barkley is so tough leading that break. He's missed 2 games this year because of knee surgery back in December, and then, of course, 2 with a suspension.
Foul called on that by Chudney Gray of St. John's.
A little different mix on the zone that time by St. John's. Got away from the standard 2-3. Matching up a little bit now. Here again, you see the matchups. Boy, James gets used right there.
Glover underneath. And a whistle on Boozer. The player matchups feature lets you select any 2 players from the top 25 teams and compare them in head-to-head breakdown. Just go to cbs.sportsline.com, or America Online users enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. St. John's in the last week has defeated Syracuse, and on Monday night convincingly over UConn.
That gives them 2 wins on the year against UConn, a team that, considering where they were to start the season, you'd have to say has struggled and has been not as productive as anticipated.
So with the win over UConn by St. John's Monday and now playing Duke today, the Red Storm has the unique opportunity to defeat both finalists from a year ago in the national championship scenario.
In the same week?
In the same week.
I don't know, Jim. We talked about that earlier today. I don't know if that's ever been done before. It'd take a much better historian than me to figure that one out.
Well, our guys Ryan Kennedy and company, back in our research in New York, they've checked in the modern era, and in the last 25 years, there's been one such kind of interesting same scenario. Boozer comes up short.
Boy, Boozer came into this game making 17 of his last 19 shots, has missed 3 easy ones today. What's the scenario, Jim?
1986. In an 8-day span, St. John's beat Villanova and Georgetown, both on the road, in fact.
Wow.
So they've done it in 8 days before, which is probably the all-time record.
That's not the question you asked me, Jim. You said 7 days.
Well, this could actually be 5 days.
5 days.
5 days. Chance to beat both finalists from a year ago in a 5-day span. They've completed part 1, but they're down 8 in part 2.
There's that step out that Duke is using so effectively. I think Barkley ought to take that ball quick across that step out and be matched up against the big man where he can easily beat him.
Great pass by Barkley, setting up Glover, who has 7.
Glover had 35 against Hofstra earlier this year. Look at St. John's changing up their defenses. They showed a flat 2-3 to start this game. Nobody under.
And rebound by Jesse.
No offensive rebounding by Duke.
Gray from the corner. It's a 9-0 run for the Red Storm. To climb within 3.
A little bit of a diamond zone press right here now. Carroll making the moves, but nobody there to finish.
Williams, 3-pointer at the other end.
Good extra pass that time by Horvath. This Duke team, #1 scoring club in the ACC. Last year, of course, the leading scoring team in the nation.
And leading the nation again this year. Battier can't leave him open, but that's twice now. He's hit the tough ones, but the open ones haven't dropped.
Battier hustles back on defense, but takes the ball out of bounds with him.
With the conclusion of today's game, we will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's General Scholarship Fund, a tradition for over a quarter-century.
I like what we're seeing right here out of Mike Jarvis in regard to early substitution patterns. This gymnasium will get very, very hot today, and it's going to be a bit difficult for guys to play those 35 minutes.
So Emmanuel returns for the Red Storm. St. John's really leans on 7 players in all. 8 minutes to go.
Barkley's had a number of 40-minute games this year.
Jesse. Oh, long rebound, Williams.
I think Duke would be best served to take the ball down inside some. They've been shooting strictly on the perimeter, not getting any second shots that way. There's the zone, the 2-3 flattened back out again. Nice defense there, not allowing Carrawell to turn the corner. Jesse did a good job.
Christensen inside. Tie it up.
Good job by Emmanuel on the inside, not giving anything there. Boozer's got to be the man inside.
The arrow belongs to St. John's. We'll be right back.
Just when you thought it was safe to leave your car in the parking lot, something evil will strike. You need a car tough enough to take it on. Chevy Malibu. With a steel safety cage, breakaway mirrors, a 6-layer paint process, and bounce-back bumpers, it's one tough car. Chevy Malibu. We'll be there.
I bequeath my Pizza Hut empire to Teddy.
We're gonna create the ultimate pizza. Let's see some cheese. I want 6 kinds of cheese. Give me the toppings department. More toppings, more.
What toppings?
Everybody say ultimate.
The new Ultimate Cheese Pizza, loaded with the topping of your choice. 6 kinds of cheese, 50% more of it, and an incredible price. $8.99 medium, large, just $2 more.
But sir, that price. You like your job, money man?
It's a good price, sir.
Excellent price.
The Ultimate Cheese Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
A little stress? Bet us online investors aren't helping your blood pressure.
Online? I'm on Wall Street, a professional.
My online broker lets me see stock quotes the same way they see them at the exchange.
You do not see them continuously, not as the market's moving.
Actually, I do. Say ah.
Ah.
That's why Daytech calls it streamer.
Very well. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
$32.75.
I didn't bring my purse.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Did look good on her.
Duke by 6. Devils have led by as many as 12 in this game. First time ever St. John's playing at Cameron. And Mike Jarvis at the shoot-around this morning had a lot to say, Billy, about how Louis Carnesecca is such a big part of this program to this day. There he is behind the Red Storm bench.
He's sitting back there. Now, he did not come to Cameron, but back in 1979, on probably the blackest day in ACC basketball history, he brought his St. John's team down here in the NCAA tournament and beat Duke at the same day Penn beat University of North Carolina. Still looked upon as Black Sunday here in the Triangle.
As the NCAA East Regional at what, nearby Greensboro?
That's right. Well, the regional then went to Greensboro. Everybody just assumed Duke and Carolina would be playing for the championship in the East Regional. On that particular day, St. John's and Penn wiped them both off.
Manuel snags it.
And everybody remembers 79, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson finally met for the national championship.
And Penn went on to the Final Four to represent the East.
Right. They eventually beat St. John's to get there. Unnecessary rebound, catches it with 2 hands, and it's Duke's ball. Fortunate for Duke, the ball went off the foot of a St. John's player.
Tonight on CBS, enter the world of ultimate fighting as Sammo Hung searches for his long-lost son on an all-new martial law tonight on CBS.
Louis also brought a St. John's team down here for what used to be the ACC Big East Challenge, but that game was played in Greensboro, North Carolina, won by Duke. Here's the 2-3 zone again. Battier setting up down inside now as Duke's going to try to get some scoring inside.
Carrawell banks it home smartly. He has 5, Duke's leading scorer on the season.
And look at who it is, Battier. Now Duke's setting up in the zone. Battier out front. Makes it kind of tough for Barkley to shoot over.
St. John's ball. Boozer and James starters return for Christensen and Horvath.
Both coaches trying to rotate as many guys early and save people in this hot gymnasium.
Again, those just joining us, we talked about it at the start, but Michael Dunleavy, the valuable sixth man for Duke, the freshman, with mononucleosis, it will not be playing with the team, it looks like, Billy, until perhaps the ACC tournament. Bank shot by Postel.
Beautiful bank shot. I really love the concentration on that shot. Young players always ought to realize when you've got that 45-degree angle, you're going to bank it. Not a good pass by Williams too far away, but to really lock in on a point on that backboard, because that backboard will really help you on those shots from that angle. Postel did a good job. Still in the 2-3 zone. Now Boozer's got to find some holes, as Battier is trying to do now. Plenty of room in there to get the ball down inside and then kick out. Duke wanting to get on the foul line some by going inside against the zone. One of their big advantages is that they really take themselves to the foul line.
Boozer short.
Boy, he is having an off day for him, not able to put anything away inside.
He's had a lot of chances close range. And a block. Battier's specialty, of course, is the draw charge, but not this time. The whistle goes the other way.
Boy, his feet were moving pretty well on that one. He had 36 charges last year, had 19 so far this year.
Tomorrow, triple header Sunday here on CBS. Billy will be down with Tim Brando for Auburn and Florida. Some will see Georgetown, Syracuse, or Georgia Tech against Wake Forest. And then on the back end of the day, Illinois and Ohio State.
Auburn, Florida, the incredible SEC battles that they've had this year. Jim, when you think about their tournament, the likes of Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, Auburn, and Florida, one of those five won't even make it, and maybe more, won't even make it to the SEC semifinals. What a deep lead.
What a season for Brady and LSU.
Oh, unbelievable.
Many followers coming out of nowhere with that season.
Postel, excellent free throw shooter, had a 21 straight streak and an 18 straight streak so far this year. Good move by Williams.
Back to Carrawell, and one.
There was a case, Emmanuel, no opportunity whatsoever to stop Williams on penetration. We talk about St. John's having a team where a lot of guys can catch the ball, pass the ball, shoot it, run, and defend. Duke is blessed with some of that same kind of talent. Carrawell, good hands, looks the ball right into his hands, and an excellent finisher. Remember last year in that game in Madison Square Garden, the 3 free throws he made in the last 20 seconds sealed that win.
15 minutes, 3 seconds into the game. That's the first free throw attempt for Duke.
Very unusual because they actually make more free throws than their opponents shoot. It's a very key thing to keep Duke off that foul line.
Duke's lead is 6. Bootsy Thornton.
Great square up on that shot by Thornton.
Barkley with a 3 of his own. He opened the game with a 3, and now he has another one.
Duke may be trying to rest itself a little bit by going zone, but I'll tell you, this is a tough team to zone with Thornton and Barkley and Postel can all make that shot.
Boozer again, he can't finish.
That was a block by Postel.
3 to tie for St. John's. Down by as many as 12.
Good job on the switch. Postel wants to go ahead and post up against Williams, and he does.
Doesn't get the roll. Boozer clears.
What Boozer is going to have to do, Jim, is not worry about getting fouled. When he gets the ball inside, he's just going to have to power it to the basket and look for the dunk.
Boozer this time, what a smart pass by Jason Williams. There he is.
That's what he has to look for. Just take the ball right to the rim and dunk it. Don't worry about getting cute inside.
Boozer had made only one of his first 6, and all of them were right around the basket, all those attempts.
And what that does is put Glover in such a tough position to foul, and St. John's can ill afford to have him on the bench.
Barkley, back of the rim, and Boozer. Duke had position underneath.
So a little bit of a 1-1-3 here.
Williams gets it back. Nifty move, but a chance here for St. John's. Barkley. And the lead again is reduced to 3.
Nice job by Battier getting back, but as you saw, when Williams took it down inside, there was no defensive balance for Duke.
That quiets the crowd a little bit. That's hard to do at Cameron. Carrawell stripped away. Glover, what a play. Oh, and a miscommunication.
You don't see that happen very often between Barkley and Postel. They read each other really well.
Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like a rock.
I need a car.
There's a whole new way to shop for a used car.
No, a convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Call Merck to learn more about an FDA-approved hair loss treatment, or call your doctor to discuss which treatment is best for you.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
There's a place in America where the sun shines a little brighter in the month of March, where the townfolk reminisce of peach baskets and parquet, where the fruits of hard labor are served up with a smile.
Freshly baked finger rolls.
And folks who visit are always invited to stay as long as they can. Welcome to Bracketville.
Jim Nance, Billy Packer back at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Eric Barkley with his basket a moment ago, reducing the lead to 3. Of course, he has been in the middle of a NCAA firestorm all season, already suspended 2 games for his involvement in a car switch. And now, of course, the topic of debate about how was his prep school funding taken care of. And that issue is not dead either.
Not dead, but he's getting an awful lot of support around the country, both from other coaches as well as players. And that's goaltending. That was great ball movement by Duke University inside. We have seen Postel coming from the weak side, getting a piece of things inside. James goes up. Postel gets it, traps it on the board on the way down. Pretty easy call to make. Duke goes back to the man-to-man, much more effective than was their zone.
Barkley found a lot of support, by the way, right here on this Duke team. Shane Battier and the Blue Devils. And Shane Battier, before the game, had a visit with him. There is going to be, starting, well, it really began last weekend, but there is a new student-athlete council that has been formed to give the players a voice, and Shane Battier will chair that council. There will be a 7 o'clock conference call tomorrow, Billy, involving some of the top players from college basketball, like Mark Madsen, Brian Cardinal, Eton Thomas. Thornton banks it home.
Again, Gray, with his dribbling on the inside, able to hit on, and they got to play him for the pass, not the shot. You know, it's interesting, right here at Duke University, a guy named Dick DeVenzio was an outstanding guard, was a guy that tried to mount such support a number of years ago. People considered him kind of a rabble-rouser, and he took a position about unionizing student athletes, but this is going to be a movement, Jim, that will not go away quickly. Matter of fact, I think it has a very positive importance it can bring to the college game.
We asked Shane yesterday what was the impetus to put this group together, and he said the craziness of kids being declared ineligible. And
well, he called Barkley's move a witch hunt. And I thought made the interesting comparison of when you're in high school and you had a great game and a guy in a deli gives you an extra piece of roast beef, does that mean you've had added bonus because you're an athlete? I mean, it does get down to be rather ridiculous.
Here's Barkley, and the reverse move brings it down to 1.
And one of the things that we're seeing out here right now is exactly what Mike Krzyzewski tried to work again yesterday. And that is St. John's ability in the open court to turn their defense immediately into offense.
30 seconds to go in the half. Battier wasn't ready. Barkley can get the assist here, and St. John's can go in front, and Thornton converts.
Again, defense to offense. Almost James threw it away again. Luckily pulled the ball back. Nice job by St. John's in this. A little bit of a 2-3 zone, and then they come out and trap half court.
5 seconds. James looks inside. Christensen unloads, and the Red Storm fights back from 12 down to take the lead into the locker room.
Duke not getting the production they need inside against St. John's with Boozer and Christensen.
Bootsy Thornton gave him the lead. He has 13 points to lead all scores. Greg and Clark are coming up, and in fact, right now, let's go back to Greg Gumbel in our New York studios for Pennzoil at the half. Hello there, Greg.
Hello, Jim, and thank you. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, everyone, scores and highlights on a day where 2 top 20 teams went down, including Indiana's overtime win against Michigan State. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station as St. John's and Duke play a dandy down in Durham, North Carolina. We'll be back.
Are you a hardcore driver? Do you want an exciting car that's built tough? This is the Pontiac Grand Am. It's as hardcore as they come because it's the only car built with solid form design. Are you a hardcore driver? Grand Am by Pontiac.
Is coming to CBS.
Grapevine, a romantic comedy at the speed of light. Premieres CBS Monday.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by your local Ford store.
Why buy now? Because of the auto show, your Ford store now has an extra $500 cash back on new 2000 Ford cars and trucks. In addition to current incentives, get $500 cash back and low financing on Ford Mustang. Get $1,000 cash back and 3.9 financing on Ford Taurus. Or get 0.9 financing on the all-new Ford Focus. So why buy now? Because this auto show offer ends February 29. Just get to your local Ford store today.
Here's your regular internet homepage. And here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Very loyal to this site. I'm not going to abandon it for some new guy with a truckload of cash.
You're kidding.
Of course. Do I look like an idiot? Look at this cash.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Volkswagen owners really love their cars. So we're not surprised that the GTI was ranked most appealing car in its class by J.D. Power and Associates.
Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half. Sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome back to our New York studios and to Pennzoil at the Half, everyone. Our score at halftime, St. John's leading Duke by a point. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. And you remember earlier today I said, well, can St. John's hang with Duke? You said, very well.
They're very much similar teams in that they have great versatility. St. John's has used their quickness and excellent passing to negate the size of Duke. It'll be interesting to see if Duke can get the ball inside a little more in the second half.
All right, Clark, let's get you caught up on all the scores and highlights from the rest of the day. And we'll begin at Key Arena in Seattle. Top-ranked Stanford with a 39-21 lead on Washington at halftime. The Cardinals dominating from the opening tip. Mark Madsen, the bucket and the foul. And then the Collins twins get into the act.
The two big fellas doing work inside. Here we see Jason Collins going to work. And then it'll be his brother, Jaron Collins, getting it done inside as well. Mark Madsen already with 7 points and 12 boards in this one.
Stanford looking to go 24-1 on the year. They lead at 39-21. At Tucson, Arizona State and fourth-ranked Arizona. The Wildcats lead at 35-23. Luke Walton, an open look in the lane. Hits the jumper. Arizona jumped out to a quick 12-point lead. And more Luke Walton.
He's going to show you his versatility here. Nice pass to the open Michael Wright. This was in the midst of a 15-0 run for the Cats.
You know how you're always talking about beware those long rebounds, right? Well, that wasn't one of them, but here's a ball out ahead. Jason Gardner ahead of the pack for the easy finish. Arizona surged to a 23-6 lead. They lead at 35-23 at halftime. At Assembly Hall in Bloomington, earlier today here on CBS, the Hoosiers knocked off Michigan State 81-79. Championship banners hanging high in Bloomington, and it was on fire. A.J. Guyton.
Career high 34, 3 of them right there to tie it up and send the game into overtime.
Mateen Cleaves with a 3 put Michigan State up late, 75-72. A.J. again.
Here he is behind the back. Tough shot in traffic off the window. Mark it up.
And then Guyton's shot here is an air ball in Washington. Rebounds to give Indiana the win. And A.J. talked with John Sunvold after the game.
Michigan State has one of the best point guards and one of probably the best player in the league on their team, and we just had to beat them in order to get our confidence up. And going into the final parts of the season, we needed that confidence boost.
So A.J. Guyton career high 34, and Michigan State with 23 big turnovers in the game. They lose by 2. At Tuscaloosa, Tennessee falls to Alabama 80-75. Who got started?
Rod Grizzard wide open, knocks down the 3 with the sweet left-hand stroke.
Terrence Mead will drive to free throw line here with a hand in his face, hits the jumper. Alabama led by 5. This is Yarborough with a shot.
Actually had a chance to tie it here, missed free throws, and this loss may have cost Tennessee any chance of the #1 seed.
How about the week for Alabama? They beat Auburn and they knock off Tennessee 80-75 today. At Ames, Iowa, the Cyclones 47-33 over Oklahoma State. Just underway in the second half. Iowa State out to an early 10-3 lead. Marcus Fizer with a 3-pointer. But the Cowboys tried to keep it close.
Joe Atkins going to knock down a triple in transition. The best time to shoot the 3. It was 12-10 there.
Cyclones lead increased to 29-19 on Michael Nurse's 3-pointer, but Fizer wasn't finished, was he?
This big fella is having some kind of year, Greg. He does it inside and outside with flavor and authority.
Iowa State 23-4. They lead it in the second half. Massachusetts at Temple. The 12th-ranked Owls win at 72-54. Senior day at Temple. That's Pepe Sanchez in tears as he hugs Coach John Chaney in a pregame. Then Pepe had the opposition in tears.
There he sure did. Beautiful wraparound pass inside to Lamont Barnes for the easy dunk. Then Sanchez going to drive and find Lynn Greer for another assist.
Sanchez had the open look from way outside. Hey, you might as well take those if nobody's guarding you.
Exactly.
Temple on a 16-2 run. They win at 72-54. In the Big 12, the Texas Longhorn had a couple of big days from their big guns and beat A&M 85-58. How about Chris Owens and Chris Mim together?
Nice little combo here. Mim to Owens inside for the vicious throwdown.
And then Mim will take the feed and then just drops the jump hook in to keep the Longhorns ahead. Easy, 60-35, and then showtime.
Gabe Manecki from William Clay.
Mim, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Owens, 20 points, 8 rebounds as Texas wins at 85-58. At Rupp Arena in Lexington, the Wildcats of Kentucky, a 5-point win over the Razorbacks of Arkansas. Razorbacks' Joe Johnson finds Blake Edens cutting across the middle. This broke a tie at 30-30 early in the second half. Then here come the Wildcats.
Keith Bogans muscling his way to the rim. Doesn't get the initial shot, but stays with it. Gives Kentucky a 2-point lead, 50-48 in the building. Bogans, quick hands, able to give Kentucky the lead. They go on to win by 5.
18 straight wins at home for the Wildcats. They went 60-55. North Carolina went into Maryland and got walloped 81-73. Terps came out rolling in the second half. Lonnie Baxter finishes with ease. Tar Heels tried to stay close, though.
Julius Pepper is going to get it inside and throw it down with the left hand. But the Terps just too much. Juan Dixon off a nice little shovel handoff, knocks down the 3.
And the Terps now with an 8-game winning streak in the ACC. They beat the Tar Heels today 81-73. In the SEC, Vanderbilt at Ole Miss and the Rebels 64-57 leaders with just under 2.5 minutes to play. And Utah, the 24th ranked Utes, trailing Colorado State. That game almost over, 55-46. CSU in the lead. Let's check out the best teams in the country from the CBS Sportsline Top 25 fan poll presented by Agilent Technology. The number 10 team, Florida, followed by Oklahoma State, Auburn, Tennessee, and then the Buckeyes of Ohio State. The top 5, Michigan State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Duke, and the Stanford Cardinals. We remind you, you can cast your vote in next week's poll at cbs.sportsline.com. America Online users enter keyword CBS Sportsline. A reminder that we will be back on the air tomorrow with another NCAA triple-header day. Our first game features an SEC showdown between number 8 Auburn and number 10 Florida. Game 2, some of you will see Georgetown at number 11 Syracuse, or an ACC battle between Georgia Tech and Wake Forest. And then we close the day with Illinois against 6th-ranked Ohio State. So let's go back to that Auburn game.
I can't talk about the Buckeyes, huh?
Not today.
I tell you what, Florida is one of the deepest, most exciting teams in the country. 10 guys play double-digit minutes. They shoot the 3. Their defense is outstanding. They're an excellent basketball team. They've won 7 of their last 8. This is a team to keep an eye on as we move towards March Madness.
All right, and that game will be at noon tomorrow. About Ohio State, I'm sorry, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us on Pennzoil at the half. We'll get you back down to Cameron Indoor Stadium. Jim Nance and Billy Packer standing by for the second half of Duke against St. John's right after this.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Play the Pennzoil at the half challenge.
Who wants the Pennzoil?
Just call our 1-800 number and answer 3 basketball trivia questions to win Final Four prizes. You can also enter to win a VIP trip to the Final Four just for calling. Stop by AutoZone for a bottle of Pennzoil. You'll need a stock number.
We need the phone.
And a phone.
There's the phone.
The Pennzoil at the half challenge. Visit AutoZone for more details.
Welcome to the World Wide Web. And what a tangled web we weave. With so much traffic, the superhighway can become a parking lot. So Agilent Technologies makes systems and components that help turn internet gridlock into open road. It's a driver's dream.
You know, it's times like these, I think about the Wide Track Grand Prix. Its speed-sensitive steering gives you road gripping control, so even tight corners won't get you off track. Oh, the Wide Track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
Wall Street. The Statue of Liberty. Times Square. Madison Square Garden. The Guggenheim Museum. Lincoln Center. Fifth Avenue. At St. John's University, you can take advantage of everything there is to offer on campus as well as off campus.
CBS Tonight. Samo thinks he sees someone he lost years ago.
He's my son.
Now the search takes Kelly and Samo into a world few ever see. Only martial law. Then, he's spreading a deadly drug across the U.S. and cannot be touched. Get ready for an unforgettable showdown.
Should not take me alive. Let's see about that.
All New Walker after martial law, CBS Tonight.
St. John's closed the half 24-11 run to come back from 12 down, Billy. How did they do it?
Well, I think they did it by creating offense off their defense. Duke University not being able to go inside and score effectively and not able to get on the foul line.
CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Mom, Dad, a 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
It's great, Mark.
But I want airline miles. Or points. I don't understand. My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's rooms.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
We all know there's too much violence in the world.
There's violence in our own communities, schools, and homes.
So what can you and I do about it?
We can start by simply respecting each other and tolerating our differences.
Because we all are different. We look different, we think different, we act different.
But we all deserve the same respect.
Think about it. We don't have to like each other, but we do need to respect each other and our right to be different.
It's the first step towards experiencing peace in our homes, our schools, our communities, and maybe even the world.
College basketball fans, for scores, news, and stats, when you've got to know more, log on to cbs.sportsline.com or in America Online into CBS Sportsline.
For Jag, the address is CBS.
Who says you can't have it all? With $2,000 cash back or 0-9 financing for up to 60 months and $500 cash plus 5-star safety, you can have it all on the 2000 Ford Windstar. Add anti-lock brakes, the most powerful engine in its class, and over 40 standard safety features, and you have more than you ever dreamed. Have it all. 2,000 cash or 0-9 for up to 60 months and 500 cash plus 5-star safety at your local Ford store.
Well, it sure is nice in paradise. A little lonely, but, well, who do we have here? Arr, you're a real bird of paradise.
Yeah, real original. So, who are you anyway?
What do you mean, who am I? I'm Adam. May I tempt you with a Red Bull?
Tempt me with a bull? Hello, it's a job for a snake.
But, my dear, Red Bull's an energy drink. It gives you wings.
Oh, tempting, very tempting. But why do you want to fly out of paradise?
Because that's where my van is parked.
Ooh.
The team to watch, weekends on CBS 2 Chicago.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by today's Holiday Inn Hotels and Resorts. Agilent Technologies, dreams made real. And by Sealy Posturepedic, we support you night and day.
Well, it's a game that instead of being played in late February, really feels like it should have been played in the middle or late March. Billy, first half.
Here you can see that St. John's 2-3 zone. Now, Duke has been finding the gaps on the inside, but they've been satisfied with shooting the ball from out on the perimeter. You can see right here, number 4 is Boozer. He is open on the inside, Duke not getting the ball to him, and when they do, he is not being delivered. He came into this ball game making 17 of his last 19 field goals. Today, Boozer is 2 for 7. And one of the things that it does for Duke is if he's not scoring and they're not going inside, they don't get on the foul line. Could you imagine a team that has shot 622 free throws on the year, has 0 for 1 in the first half?
One attempt came on an attempt to try to complete a three-point play. Carrawell missed.
That ball was kicked and not
kick
called.
Thornton. And no call at the other end on James.
Mike Krzyzewski can't believe it all either. The ball was kicked by St. John's, not called.
Everyone kind of stood still on the court waiting for the whistle.
How could 3 fellas miss that play? They have actually had 2 common opponents. Without Barkley, we'll see the kick down on the inside right here. Ball goes inside. There's the kick. No question about it. Pretty easy thing to call. But they both played DePaul, with Duke winning in overtime here. St. John's lost at DePaul with Barkley out, and that's, of course, a big out. And then St. John's destroyed Virginia early this year, a very young team at that point in time, and Duke has beaten Virginia twice.
They also both have played UConn this year.
And UConn, right. And, of course, there you go back to Duke playing UConn in the second game of the year, a situation where they were a very young team. Jim, it's going to be interesting this year for this committee when you start thinking about great players. I mentioned Barkley being out for some games. in which St. John's lost. Mateen Cleaves early in the year, you know, with injuries. Hannah Metala out with some injuries. In the case of Arizona, numerous players now with Lauren Woods out with injuries. It's going to be very interesting as to what that means to the committee in terms of the strength of clubs.
You were using as an example the Cleves-Michigan State season. You take their record with Cleves. They're much, obviously, a better
they're a number one seed.
Are they number one seed? But the loss today to Indiana here on CBS may have knocked them back to a 2. Although the Big Ten tournament still looming.
I would expect that Mike Krzyzewski said to his team in his second half, particularly at the start of it, we're going inside, inside, inside. Barkley should have taken James. He's too quick for him outside. James has had trouble defensively today.
Emmanuel put back.
Great shot by Postel.
So they swap the lead here at the start of the second half.
And there's that half-court trap again.
Carrawell and a whistle.
A little late call on that one, and Mike Jarvis didn't like it. Both of these coaches going to start working the officials right now. That one's going to be on Jesse.
First on Reggie Jesse.
Nobody in St. John's. They only had 4 personal fouls called in the whole first half.
So Carrawell will shoot the second and third free throws of the game for Duke. He is 9 wins away from becoming the all-time winningest Blue Devil. Now, that's not a lot that he's going to get there, obviously. They'd have to go pretty deep into the NCAA tournament.
And in the ACC tournament.
And exactly. He would try to overtake the Duke record for wins in a career, jointly held by Christian Leitner and Brian Davis.
Misses a pair.
So they still haven't made a free throw in the game. They're 0 for 3 as a team. All 3 attempts from Carrawell.
Barkley wanting to take Williams on the inside. Good patience on his part.
Boozer did make those free throws here early in this half, so let me correct that. Ball loose, and there is Boozer.
Carrawell did a good job blocking out Postel so that he couldn't get over to make the defensive play. Might as well just credit him with an assist on it. Boozer showing his versatility, being able to put the ball on the floor and take it half court.
Barkley for the lead back. And what a play there by Emmanuel.
Now, what James did, figured that if he was out of bounds, that it wouldn't count against him, but he's the first thing it touched out of bounds. So Emmanuel does a nice job throwing it right at James.
St. John's down 1. Back in front on the Postel jumper.
Boy, they're a fun team to watch, is this St. John's, because so many guys can use the fundamental skills of basketball well. And again, they try to trap out of the zone and then drop back to the 2-3.
Carrawell gets baseline, lost control of it. James steps back. 3 is short.
Good decision by Emmanuel there because Thornton had broken away. As a matter of fact, he's wide open in the corner now.
Barkley splits the defenders. Red Storm is up 3.
Crowd getting a little impatient here. Quick hands.
The Academic All-Stars recognize 1 player on each team for academic excellence. For today's game, the All-Stars are LeVar Postel of St. John's and Shane Battier of Duke. Congratulations. Duke doesn't lose non-conference games at home very often. Won 125 of the last 127 games here against non-ACC opponents.
And there is Duke's answer in this ball game. They should get that ball in the perimeter, throw it on the inside, and attack the glass. St. John's just can't handle them down inside, but you can see now cramping up a little bit Barkley. You know, Barkley's played here twice before, not as St. John's, but with Riverside Church in outstanding tournaments when he was in high school. Brought down the likes of Elton Grant and Ron Artest, Lamar Odom on those teams, and won 2 games here.
He said he liked playing here, liked shooting here. And Nate James does as well. He ties it at 45.
Now with Barkley out of the ball game, Duke can pick up their defensive pressure. Gray is the primary ball handler. Does not finish as well as does Barkley.
Thornton blocked by by Carrawell. He's up ahead, and Duke takes the lead back.
Great pass by Williams. Gray didn't get back to defend. Bootsy Thornton was kind of helpless on that play. He was already committed to shoot the jumper, and Carrawell had good steps on him.
Stolen again by Battier. Carrawell back to Battier.
Oh, how about that play?
Gray, Chudney Gray.
Almost a sensational block by Gray. And now it's Duke that's getting some offense from their defense. And here we see coming back in the game quickly is Barkley. And you can see what happens when he's out of there for St. John's. Good pass. Battier intended to dunk on it, but Gray got a piece of it. As I mentioned, Eric Barkley has had 5 games this year, considering he's had to sit down 2 with injury and 2 with a suspension, but he's had 5 other games in which he's played 40 minutes.
He suffered from some dehydration problems in the game against UConn. Had to be carried off the floor, had an IV after the game. He said he's been drinking nothing but water here leading up to this one. And it's going to be a warm environment here today.
Well, he's played out of 440 potential minutes in Big East games. He's played 413. So you can see how valuable he is on the floor for him.
Barkley is back in. Horvath returns for Duke. And the Blue Devils are in front by 3.
Do these eyes belong to your doctor? Do they belong to your child's bus driver? To your pharmacist? Your pilot? Or to the guy in the other lane? Get the deep sleep you need, the kind of sleep you get on a bed that uniquely cradles and supports your body as no other bed does. The crown jewel from Sealy Posturepedic. We support you night and day.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Oldsmobile Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to help connect you to the road. Frog without the active response system. Alero with the active response system. Alero by Oldsmobile.
Hey, did you get them brakes at Pep Boys?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate it.
Pep Boys for quality parts and brake service from $69.99. No rebate necessary.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Call Merck to learn more about an FDA-approved hair loss treatment, or call your doctor to discuss which treatment is best for you.
Dr. Roger Maxfield is ready for a professional money manager. The kind he never thought would handle individual portfolios. One of the best is a few feet away. If only the two could mate. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
She's the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer and one of the most downloaded women on the internet. But you've never seen Christy Swanson until you've seen her on Grapevine. Premiere CBS Monday.
Here we see Thornton ready to shoot, but see Carrawell has it on him. Now Chudney Gray makes a mistake. He cuts on the inside, allows Duke to go over the top. Watch how Gray goes inside instead of being back for balance, and that step that he made going forward put him in no position to get back there on Carrawell. And that's where a Barkley has that great floor balance in his mind. Good point guards know how to hold back there and make sure you don't get that easy shot.
Barkley's back in there directing the St. John's attack.
Good strip. That was Williams that time. We see a lot of that northeastern basketball defensively being shown right now. Williams, Barkley, guys that will go ahead and make the strip before you release your shot. Williams, of course, from New Jersey.
Battier.
Great hands. And there's the strip I was talking about. Instead of trying to go for the block, A lot of Eastern players like to go ahead and attack you down below.
Sunday on 60 Minutes, among the people the world's biggest spy station listens in on could be you. If you don't believe it, watch 60 Minutes Sunday on CBS.
You know, Jim, St. John's won their 1600 game just last week in these big wins that they've been having. 5 teams with 1,600 wins. Of course, Duke being one of those. Kentucky the all-time leader. But St. John's is the only team of that bunch that has not won a national championship between Kentucky, North Carolina, Kansas, Duke, and St. John's. Great basketball traditions, but St. John's doesn't have the so-called big one behind their name.
Last in the Final Four in 1985.
Duke has been very effective this half defensively, sticking with their man-to-man. They got a little soft in the zone in the first half.
Barkley, wow, that dazzled the crowd.
What a drive, using the rim, shield off the defender. St. John's going back, conserving energy because they are going to be just 6 deep here.
Horvath spins.
Not a good shot.
Bootsy Thornton running up with it.
He's taking it.
To Glover. And one. And a chance to tie.
Again, the transition basketball of St. John's, taking it right from their defense, making it their offense. Horvath, not used to playing many minutes, took a bad shot and then commits a foul on the other end as well. You see, he gets there a little late and he sits down. But he's only been playing under 9 minutes a game. You can see how much this club misses Dunleavy, Jim, and he is home in Portland.
He unable to go to class with the mono, so they sent him home for the week. Expected back later this week. And I thought, as that ties it, Glover ties it. It's interesting to hear Coach K talk about how you lose them, and really you lose 4 or 5 different combinations.
Absolutely.
For the team to feel it, during a game, to be able to adjust a lot of different ways.
Now he is the player. There's the play right there for Duke University, down inside. St. John's has no answer for that whatsoever. You can see that Band-Aid on Boozer's head. He got that in the NC State game, but you can see he's looking to finish on the inside now. He had so much trouble in the first half. Glover, no opportunity whatsoever at 6'7" to handle Boozer, who was a guy heavily recruited by Mike Jarvis to St. John's. Thought he had a chance to get him. Good free throw shooter for a big man.
Freshman from Alaska, 11 points, 7 coming in this half.
But Duke not able to get a working margin against this St. John's team. Very patient. Don't turn the ball over.
Emmanuel from the outside.
Big shot off the bench right there. Now that's one, if you're sitting down on the Duke bench, you say, he shot it, take it, and then all of a sudden, boom. Again, Emmanuel down inside gives a little bit more presence for Boozer with his size as opposed to Glover.
Williams.
Battier actually took the ball away from what could have been Boozer's rebound.
So back and forth we go. Duke with a 1-point lead inside 14 minutes to play.
But again, what we're seeing, Jim, is one of Duke's staples is getting to the free throw line. St. John's doing a great job keeping them off of there.
Barkley with a 3, way short. Hey. However, Thornton puts it up and in.
A replay of the Indiana-Michigan State game. Or, Jim, to make you feel bad, North Carolina State-Houston game. The missed shot for the putback.
This was exactly what Lynn Washington did earlier today to give the Hoosiers the win.
You see, Barkley comes up short. Nobody getting inside block-out position. And Thornton able to put it away. Thornton just a 56% free throw shooter. But hard to believe a guy can be that good a three-point shooter, but just can't hit him from the foul line.
But an error there will give St. John's the ball back with the 1-point lead.
Isn't it amazing, this team, when Barkley comes back out on the floor, everything settles down. Duke was able to get their lead with Gray took his spot when Barkley had what looked like some cramping. Doubling on the post-ups.
Jumper knocked down there by Jesse.
Great job by Thornton to recognize the double team coming through opposite.
Timeout called by Duke. Second-ranked team in the country. Trails by 3 at home.
This is your new business. And this is your new car. The new Volvo V40. Now get back to work. Every bit of Volvo for about $24,000.
Teams making a move toward March. Longest win streak. Temple sharing that title jointly with Utah State. Temple with its win earlier today.
Just 4 losses has Temple. A very aggressive schedule on the road. I'll tell you, going to win at Dayton and at Cincinnati in the same weeks. Tough task. And Duke's got a tough task right now. They have not been able to get the ball down inside. Emmanuel's presence has negated Boozer somewhat.
Stolen away. Postel. He'll challenge. And Carrawell, they say, reached in. Looked pretty clean.
Here's a situation where actually St. John's going to the foul line much more than Duke.
Third foul on Carrawell. A reminder tomorrow, huge game in the SEC. It'll lead off our triple header. Auburn against Florida. And then in the middle, many will see Georgetown against Syracuse as the Orangemen try to stay on top in the Big East. Illinois, Ohio State on the back end of the day tomorrow on CBS.
Lon Kruger's club coming on from the Big Ten right now. We anticipated at the beginning of the year that they would be a factor for the Big Ten championship. Kind of dug themselves a little hole, but getting really strong now. We remember what they looked like in the Big Ten tournament last year without the kind of personnel they have now.
They were last in the regular season a year ago. Made it all the way to the conference tournament final where Michigan State beat them.
St. John's widening things out. 5-point lead here. As I mentioned, free throw shooting, something that Duke normally are very proficient at and getting on the line. Here they go again, defense to offense.
Barkley to Postel. St. John's has its biggest lead of the day.
They are taking the game to Duke University right now.
Seven-point lead for the Red Storm.
The zone is getting much tougher down inside. Emmanuel really doing a job on Boozer.
Carrawell, too strong.
Nothing there. That was a good job by Emmanuel again.
St. John's keeps breaking.
I'll tell you what, though, Barkley looks like he's starting to pull up lame again. I think he's going to have to come out of there.
What a pass, though, to Postel.
Excellent play. Actually, it was a 4-on-1 fast break there. Barkley is having to sit down, and Jim, this does not spell well for St. John's with him out of the lineup. He's cramping up.
That last collision was a foul called on Reggie Jesse. Carrawell.
Nothing going for Duke.
Williams will try it. Open three. Yes.
Big rebound by Boozer. And if Duke is going to make a move, they better think about making it with Barkley having to sit down there cramping out right now.
Jesse, yes. At the other end, back to 6.
Every one of these St. John's players can catch the ball and play a position, whether it be forward, guard, and sometimes helping out inside.
Vanier looking for help, finds it. Boozer. And one.
Real good decision by Williams on the play. And this is what surprised me to start of this game, Jim. Boozer had easy shots. He just wasn't finishing.
That's the third on Emmanuel.
This Duke team has won 7 of the last 10 regular season championships in the ACC. That's a pretty good run, isn't it?
Well, the 4 in a row is just almost unimaginable.
They did it back in the early 60s for the only program to have 2 teams that won uncontested regular season championships, and they've done it twice.
CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Oldsmobile Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to help connect you to the road. Frog without the active response system. Alero with the active response system. Alero by Oldsmobile.
The address is CBS.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
Size 8?
Last pair.
This is from that guy right over there. Can't blame the guy for trying.
The cold-filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Why buy now? Because of the auto show, your Ford store now has an extra $500 cash back on new 2000 Ford cars and trucks. In addition to current incentives, get $500 cash back and low financing on Ford Mustang. Get $1,000 cash back and 3.9 financing on Ford Taurus. Or get 0.9 financing on the all-new Ford Focus. So why buy now? Because this auto show offer ends February 29th. Just get to your local Ford store today.
Got any books I might like?
What did you have in mind?
Homer's Odyssey in the original 5th century Greek.
Attic, Doric, or Ionic dialect.
How's that possible?
I have every edition of every book ever published in every language.
Could your business use the bandwidth to change everything? Ride the light. Quest.
On line 2, we have Frank calling from his car.
Hi, I'd like to say something to my ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Claire, I got myself a Lexus. Who's sorry now, baby?
Only until February 29th, get 6.99% APR for 72 months on certified pre-owned Lexus vehicles. And as always, an incredible warranty. Only at your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
We have Claire on line 3.
Jim Nance and Billy Packer back at Cameron Indoor Stadium. March Madness around the corner. Feels a little bit like it right now, though, doesn't it, Billy? With this game today.
The students are getting a little nervous here. As you mentioned, Jim, they're not used to seeing a non-conference team come in here and play the way St. John's is. Only 2 losses in, 17 years? There's another one of those steals on the way up.
It's Williams taking the middle to James, and a charge.
That was not a good decision by Williams. Chudney Gray anticipated the pass and got back beautifully with his feet. No place for Nate James to go. Look at Gray moving his feet. Great job defensively. Instead of trying to play with the hands, he plays with his head and his feet. Smart play. Barkley back out on the floor. It's amazing how things change when he has to sit down.
Thornton.
Very tough shot there.
Gray keeps it alive, though, for St. John's.
You notice how St. John's doesn't get a lot of offensive putbacks immediately inside. They do a lot of tipping back. Good leapers, good position. Don't have a lot of size.
The pass. Christensen takes it away.
Williams ought to score on this one.
Oh, again he tries to go to James coming in from the right wing.
I don't know why he made those 2 decisions. He should have taken it all the way to score himself. He had a manual who he could handle.
This Monday, CBS presents a new comedy about the magic of falling in love. Don't miss the series premiere of Grapevine, Monday on CBS, right after Everybody Loves Raymond.
course, the last time we had St. John's, they were in perfect position to knock off Ohio State. And Ohio State made that incredible 11-0 run to win it all as Scooney Penn made the block on Barkley.
That was in late January in New York. That run right at the end of the game for the Buckeyes.
Scooney Penn coming back where he was the MVP of the Big East Championship.
Gray misses the lay-in after a brilliant pass by Barkley.
Williams with 3 turnovers in a row.
And every time he was trying to hit James. Gray now gets the layup at the other end. Back to a 5-point St. John's lead.
Big mistakes by the freshman point guard. 2 on decision making and 1 just on an errant pass.
Farewell steps in, comes up short. Barkley leaves early. 2 more Red Storm players follow him, and Jesse lays it in.
I think that Duke University, well, they are going to go timeout. They've got to get Boozer and Battier back in. Barkley really cramping up now, and it's starting to really bother him.
9 minutes to go. St. John's leading by 7 over the second team in the country.
32-75.
I didn't bring my purse.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
It did look good on her.
Duke will bring back into the game Shane Battier. He has not made a field goal since 11.5 minutes remaining was remaining on the clock in the first half. Only 1 shot in this half, coming off his 34-point explosion against Wake Forest, where they sealed the ACC. Boozer partially blocked. Keeps it alive, though.
That was Postel coming over from the weak side.
James, jumper, short. Gray breaks past James.
Again, keeping it alive.
Williams breaks out of there, though. Looking for help. This time he'll pull up with it. Knocks it down.
Much better decision on his part. St. John's doing a good job getting back. The key for St. John's is, can they keep Barkley on the floor? It seems like every couple of minutes now he starts to cramp up. These players have got to be tested a little bit physically with this heat in this arena.
Emmanuel, he made 1 jumper, but not this time. And James for the easy 2. Eight minutes to go.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski said yesterday, let's not be a common team. Let's be uncommon and not accept the fact that we've clinched the conference championship, but do bigger things today. And he's going to have to call on him now. Steps.
Postel banks it home.
Thought he walked on the play.
Mike Krzyzewski believes that Duke still has a lot to play for, specifically seeding. He doesn't feel they have anything locked up at this point.
Well, definitely not.
Duke in line, though, for the #1 seed in the East, and there's a whistle on St. John's.
Here we see and people getting a little tired. You can see Barkley, Jim. He is kind of hobbling along out there, not wanting to really get in the sprint. He knows his own body, and he's trying to go ahead and stay on the court as much as he can.
That last foul on Thornton. Boozer will shoot 2.
Boozer this year been to the line now 113 times and shooting 73%.
Reggie Jesse back in. Glover returns. Manuel out.
And as I said, this Duke team lives on the foul line normally. They made 457 free throws coming to this game. Their opponents only shot 409.
If you've been thinking about jumping into a rugged new Montana,
I need more room!
now's a really good time.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan.
Life was more exciting in Montana. Now jump into a rugged Montana with this limited time offer. But get a move on because the train's leaving the station.
I want it to be a new way of looking at things.
What do you want the internet to be?
Come together!
Nortel Networks.
Get ready for the shave of your life. Mach 3 from Gillette. It's so fast, so effortless. 3 blades shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. So you don't shave over and over. The result? Far less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Once you go to Mach 3, you'll never go back. Mach 3 from Gillette.
What do you want the internet to be?
A cash cow.
Come together!
Nortel Networks.
You're tied in double overtime!
Net 1, Pearl 2.
Bingo!
Mr. Barkley wins again!
These days, it's never too early to think about retirement. Maybe that's why so many people go to Schwab.com. In a few steps, you can open a Roth, a traditional IRA, or a rollover, invest in a range of funds, and plan for the future. Because retirement...
You got the upper.
...comes sooner than you think.
Boozer coming on in the second half, Billy.
Well, here we have turnovers. St. John's has 7 games this year with 10 or less turnovers. And look at those backcourt points. St. John's with a big advantage. And remember what they did with Connecticut. Elamine and Mooring did not get a point in that game.
A single field goal. They had 2 free throws, but not 1 made basket from the floor.
And you're talking about an outstanding offensive backcourt.
Estelle.
Oh, again he does it.
He's made some huge plays. Challenging Boozer and beating him on that one.
Yeah, he had 22 in the Connecticut win, so he can put up some big points.
Got 16. Williams at the other end with a 3. That's the lead in half. Actually down to 2.
And Postel is with Battier, the nation's #1 defender last year. But he's making him pay on these switches.
Jesse, quick turnaround for 2 more.
A little give-and-go situation. Duke switches, gets 2 men on 1. Break to the basket, and they break that switching defense down in a hurry.
Inside, Boozer with the pass from Williams.
Boy, Williams making up for those 3 turnovers he had earlier.
Six minutes to go. Thornton, 3.
Oh, brilliant shot with Battier right in his face.
18 for Bootsy Thornton.
And that was Barkley again with terrific dribbling. Had a little seam, created the penetration to kick out.
James, wow, just keep exchanging 3s.
Is it March Madness? It just feels like it, doesn't it?
Hey, let's check the calendar.
Those games just going down to the wire. Well, Duke started their season losing to Stanford. St. John started theirs losing to Sanford.
James.
No place to go. Almost committed a big turnover.
For the lead.
Can you believe this? James had nowhere to go. It was 1 against 3, and he fortunately was able to get the ball back outside. This is a key stop for Duke right here.
Lover, was he held by it? Called on Williams.
Yeah, here's the case where you get the switch. Now here's James, no place to go. He slips, and very fortunately, he's able to get the ball back to Williams, who's coming down the stretch here with some strong play. And Duke, as we mentioned, is switching in all cases, and sometimes they get in a mismatch, and that's what happened there with Glover on Williams inside.
Battier on the floor. Williams in the middle. Holds up.
Great move on his part.
Nate James.
Didn't like the shot there. Didn't like the shot. Duke has got a 1-point lead, an opportunity to go inside. They've got to force St. John's to guard him at that point.
Timeout St. John's, 4.5 to go. They've squandered a 7-point lead in this second half. Duke by 1.
Mom, Dad, the 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
That's great, Mark.
But I want airline miles or points.
I don't understand.
My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's room.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
Duke has won 22 of its last 23 games after an opening pair of losses in New York to Stanford and UConn. Only Maryland has beaten them since November.
Jim, what an interesting yesterday. Mike Jarvis talking about Samford again and let everybody understand that that's a team that they opened up in the NCAA tournament last year, and he said he was really worried about playing them in the pit because their style of play and his team wouldn't be ready. And sure enough, Samford did beat them.
A stinging opening loss in a tournament out there in New Mexico at the pit.
There again, the switch creates manual on Williams.
Good efforts for the rebound, but Battier clears.
Here comes Boozer.
Slammed up.
And no foul on the play. That was just great recognition by Williams. He felt Boozer coming.
He inbounded the ball from the side of the court, Billy. Did you see that?
Yeah, and also Mike wanted a foul on the play. No call made.
Mike was pointing over to that far corner as really an illegal inbound pass. Instead of from the inline. This could tie it. Manuel can't chase it down. Bob Donatos takes the spill.
And you know what? Great piece of officiating, Jim, down here. Mike Krzyzewski brought it to the attention of the official, who said, Mike, I made a mistake on that one.
Timeout. Duke by 3.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Anyway, I'll go get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Oh, look at you, too.
Make it a Bud Light.
There's a place in America where the sun shines a little brighter in the month of March, where the townfolk reminisce of peach baskets and parquet, where the fruits of hard labor are served up with a smile.
Freshly baked finger rolls.
And folks who visit are always invited to stay as long as they can. Welcome to Bracketville.
Airbags, a steel safety cage, and a whiplash protection seating system. All the safety you'd expect in a Volvo. At a price you may not. Introducing the Volvo S40.
Great walk, huh, Jake? Your next, Carl.
CBS presents the untold story behind Jean-Benet Ramsey's murder.
Did you kill your daughter?
You are going down the wrong road.
Perfect murder, perfect town. CBS Sunday.
CBS sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by Volvo. Volvo for life. Nike. And by Nortel Networks. We're building the new high-performance internet.
Duke possession and the three-point lead.
St. John's looks like they're showing the 1-3-1 zone now. Maybe going to trap out of this a little bit. But you got to question, can Barkley chase anybody with those cramping legs of his?
Williams.
Boozer gets fouled on the inside as St. John's surrounds him with 4 players. So far this year, the Big East and the ACC have played 9 games. The ACC with a 5-4 advantage.
Glover called for his 4th. And taking a look at the CBS Sportsline stat of the game, Duke with 11 threes. For complete game stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com. 10th foul against St. John, so double bonus, 2 free throws the rest of the way. 20 for the game for the freshman who had his breakout game on CBS back in December at Michigan when he came up with a 25-point, 10-rebound game.
Spreading things out as St. John's looking to get a mismatch on a switch. Postel and Gray.
Blocked by Boozer. Glover back up with it.
Just good hands inside.
12 for Glover. Duke by 2.
St. John stays in the 1-3-1. Should be an opportunity for Battier to get on the offensive glass.
How about a 3?
Nope.
Back to Battier. Quick pass to Carrawell. He wants to reset.
And how about that decision by Carrawell? Very smart play.
Running one-hander.
And a charge.
Charge indeed.
It's a play where Jim, if you're going in there against that zone, you got to come to the jump stop and get it off.
Tonight on CBS, America's Night of Heroes, all new, beginning with early edition. Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hallman and Marshall Law. Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger.
That was not a good possession for Duke. Didn't get a good look at the basket, the kind of shot they'd want.
And the 4th on Carrawell. 2.5 remaining.
Oh, they did not switch that time, keeping Battier on Postel.
Thornton.
Williams with a good rebound.
Knocked loose, Duke ball.
You know, Williams, a guard who has great responsibilities there, is averaging 4.1 rebounds a year.
He almost had a triple-double in the game against DePaul this year. Was 1 rebound short of becoming only the 2nd player in Duke history other than Gene Banks. Ball loose.
Oh, great
Barkley
steal.
takes it. Thornton ties it at 79. Just under 2 to play.
You don't see that often against a player like Carrawell, but he was stripped with those great hands by Barkley. Duke has played 5 overtime games this year.
4-1 in the OT.
Lost to Stanford in that opening game. And won the other 4.
St. John's hasn't had an overtime game since losing to Duke last year. Maybe we're headed there. 90 seconds to go.
Williams going to have to get some dribble penetration to get things started. There he goes. No call.
Off the glass, back to Williams. Now Barkley takes it.
And they've got the run and start.
Gray, Battier, and a whistle on Battier. That was a tough challenge for Gray to expect to beat Battier. A great defender and a guy with much bigger size.
But I'll tell you what, St. John's comes out off of their defense to get into offense as well as anybody does in the country. Now, Battier got ball, but he also hit him with the body. He wanted thumbs up calling it a jump. He doesn't get the call.
Gray at the line for 2. 1:18 remaining.
This is a 6-man squad. Emmanuel, though, I should make it 7 today because he did a nice job coming off the bench, establishing a presence down inside on the zone.
2-point lead.
Timeout, St. John's.
St. John's calls timeout. 78 seconds to go. St. John's by 2. Jim Nance and Billy Packer, it truly is nail-biting time here at Cameron, but it's really felt like a final 2-minute intensity almost the entire second half. Barkley and St. John's, they had come back from 12 in the first half, went back in front by 7, lost the lead, went down by as many as 4, and now they've regained it.
How about this nice full court pickup by St. John's, making Duke take some time off the clock. Nice move by Mike Jarvis. And they go man-to-man. Duke has not seen man-to-man very much in this game. Good move. Now, Barkley, will his legs hold out here in this defense?
Up over the top, and great help by Bootsy Thornton, but knocked out by the Red Storm. Shot clock at 11.
I haven't seen a team this year with any quicker hands. Now, Mike Krzyzewski calls that timeout because he did not anticipate that there would be man-to-man defense being played by St. John. So he wants to get his guys aware of the fact that although that we've seen zones all day long, half-court zone trap, 2-3 zone, some 1-3-1, a good move by Mike Jarvis came out after that timeout and went man-to-man. Duke wasn't ready for it.
The last coach to come in here, a non-ACC coach, and win at Duke, Steve Fisher,
Michigan,
in 1995.
Tractor trailer on the big play.
And Duke has won 64 in a row against unranked teams. They're playing a team that happens to be one spot out. If you look at those also receiving votes, one spot away from being in the top 25.
Well, Maryland earlier this year stopped their 31 straight ACC victories in a row.
On the shot clock, 53 game clock. Tipped out, now 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Good defense by St. John's, packing things back in, knowing Duke wants to get the ball in Boozer's hands. And here's the case, I think, where the dribble penetration and the kick out to Battier can work.
Carrawell dumps it off Boozer. Carrawell, the 3 on the shot clock. James set up from the corner for the lead. Yes!
The kick out on dribble penetration was the answer. Some game.
A 3 gives Duke the lead by 1. 3-second differential. Game clock to shot clock. Barkley.
No place to go under there.
They whip it around. Postel.
Got fouled on the play. No call. St. John's still has it.
15 seconds. Thornton for the lead back. Yes. Thornton again.
If you're Carrawell, get that ball in Williams' hands and let him penetrate.
Carrawell to Boozer. And Duke ball. There is a discrepancy. Well, they gave him only a 2. The game clock at first gave that shot by Thornton as a 3, so Duke was coming down looking at an 84-82 scoreboard here in the arena. But the Thornton shot was now only credited as a 2.
And Thornton is absolutely exhausted. Mike Jarvis wants the referees to look at that play as well. Look again.
They originally, again, here in the arena, counted it as a 3, so Duke was running down the floor, assuming it was an 84-82 deficit.
And Mike Jarvis wants those officials to take a look at the replay. There's the kick out, the dribble penetration and kick out, something that has been there. And James, in his favorite spot, hits from the corner. Then Thornton comes right back and buries a beautiful jump shot of his own after some excellent rebounding by St. John's.
They're going to keep it as a 1-point game. They're not going to review it. Duke with the ball, down 1, 5 seconds to go.
Not a lot of time, Jim, to make passes here. You've got to get the ball inside. Glover, Boozer.
Carrawell, double team, must get rid of it. There is no time left. St. John's has stunned Duke on its home floor.
Excellent college basketball game. 2 teams we're going to hear a lot of in the NCAA tournament. But Jim, considering how the ACC has fared this year in regard to the strength of their conference, this could be a #1 seed that we're not going to have.
Duke goes down by 1. St. John's completes the double. They beat both finalists from last year in a 5-day span. Bootsy Thornton and Carlos Boozer are the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, and in all likelihood, that's never happened before.
Great job by St. John's. Helps the Big East. They come out 5-5 with the ACC. Their players are exhausted.
What a day, what a game. So for Billy Packer, this is Jim Nantz saying so long from Durham, North Carolina, where St. John's has won its 7th straight, beating Duke 83-82. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.
Expecting to see Illinois and Ohio State. We'll get you set for that action from Columbus, Ohio. Dick Enberg and Al McGuire standing by to call the action for you right after this message and a word from your local station.
The Value City Arena, Ohio State jammed to its 19,500 capacity. Today a battle with Big Ten championship implications. The Illini of Illinois and the ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. For the moment, Purdue, an 88-71 winner against Penn State today, is in the lead. The top 5 teams are destined to be invited to the NCAA tournament. This game obviously with Big Ten championship implications. Lon Kruger, the 47-year-old head coach of the Illini. His young team is hot. They've won 9 of their last 10. A big win at Bloomington against the Hoosiers earlier this week. Here's his lineup. No senior starters on the front line. The blocky 6'4" junior McLean. Brian Cook, a freshman center at 6'10". Lucas Johnson can hit from outside, the sophomore. In the backcourt, their leading scorer, Corey Bradford. He's on his way to breaking his own record for 3-point shots. Frank Williams, just a freshman, but he is maturing at that point guard position. Jim O'Brien took his team as a surprise to the Final Four a year ago. The 49-year-old native of Brooklyn. And here is his 3-guard offense up front. The 2 seniors, George Reese and Ken Johnson. Johnson, the leading shot blocker in the nation. These men playing in their last home game here in Columbus. He likes the 3-guard offense, does O'Brien. And Scooney Penn, he brought him from Boston College. 2 years at BC, a star. 2 years here at Ohio State, a star as Penn. Michael Redd, a great shooter outside at 6'6", and Brian Brown, like O'Brien, a native of Brooklyn, New York. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire here at this magnificent facility. And Coach, around the Big Ten, the one thing you can be assured of, when you talk about the guard play, you're going to see men who can shoot the ball.
Obviously, they're solid shooters. I think that Penn is mainly a leader. He's a leader that has no weaknesses, and he could become the second answer number 2 in the next level of basketball.
And in Corey Bradford and Williams, you got a sophomore and a guard in the backcourt for the Illini. And you've always said the best thing about freshmen
is that they become a sophomore. But Bradford can bury you from three-point land. What he does, he has a very, very quick release. And then inside the circle, he can bounce up and score. And he gives you maximum defense on the other end.
We welcome those of you who have seen Syracuse defeat Georgetown here on CBS. Corey Bradford, the Big Ten freshman of the year. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of weight on his shoulders, this young man. It's so much expected of him after his sensational first year with the Illini. And for Ohio State to win, they're going to have to do something to stop his three-point prowess. And for Ohio State, the energy of the practice of the Buckeyes yesterday gives you an indication that they're really gearing ahead as these thoroughbreds come down the stretch of the Big Ten season.
I think the key to the game is Ken Johnson. If Ken Johnson plays 30 minutes, Dick, Ohio State, the Buckeyes will win. I doubt whether he'll get 30 minutes. He's foul prone. And Illinois, who probably got the deepest bench in the country, they'll play 11 men today. They keep coming in there and they'll create fouls.
So Ken Johnson, who is a tremendous defensive force, as the eraser inside. And the Illini figure to send 3-4 men after him and try to challenge whether he can stay in the game, stay away from foul trouble. We're set to go here at Ohio State. And we welcome those of you who have seen the Orange Men of Syracuse defeat the Hoyas of Georgetown.
This is the final game of CBS's terrific triple header today. The Illini of Illinois and the Buckeyes of Ohio State, each team with 10 wins. The Buckeyes are 10-3 and ranked 6th in the nation. Illinois, probably if the rankings went to the top 30, would be in the top 30, playing as well as anyone in the conference with 9 wins in their last 10 starts, 7 in a row, and we're underway. And Scooney Penn with a tip from Ken Johnson. Penn, the 5'10 senior from Salem, Massachusetts. Red. Back out. McLean takes Penn. That's an interesting matchup, Coach. McLean at 6'4".
I think Penn's too quick for him.
Penn misfires, and the battle for the rebound and dual possession. It'll go to the Illini as Brian Cook, the freshman, and Michael Redd of Ohio State come up with it. And look at the Illini on offense, and bringing it down is their freshman point guard, Frank Williams. He hit a buzzer beater at Champaign to beat Ohio State earlier in the season, 80-77. McLean driving on Redd, loses the ball, and up with it is Brian Brown for Ohio State.
Both teams start out with man-to-man.
Scooney Penn. He'll tell us how he got that nickname when we have time later. Brian, as they go into an outside weave. Penn with 13 on the clock. Reese from the side. And the freshman Cook pulls down the rebound for the Illini. Bradford's first attempt, and he rattles one in. Didn't take him long, and that makes 58 straight games that Corey Bradford has hit a three-point shot.
I'm surprised he got that shot because I know Jim O'Brien definitely was extending his defense yesterday to stop that.
Redd can't hit. But a tip in for Ohio State as Johnson there to bat at home. Williams had hit the three-point shot. We're a little too quick with Bradford. This is Williams, and he tries another. Well off the mark. Here come the Buckeyes trailing 3-2. Redd to the side, Brown, and back into the hands of Penn, who sets up the action.
Redd got away with 2 palms that time.
From the side, the left-hander Redd. Johnson and Cook, and it's last touch by Johnson.
Johnson's playing very tentative. He must have heard the quote I made early in the top of the show that he won't play 30 minutes. He's foul prone, but he has to get more in the mix.
Frank Williams brings it down. Part of the Peoria Manual, the combination they call them. 3 great players out of Manual that have gone to the Illini. Cook well over the rim. Johnson with a rebound. Back to Cook inside. Over Johnson. And Johnson pulls down the rebound.
Cook, for a freshman, he's not bashful. Nice move by Penn.
And Scooney Penn can't hit. Batted back out. And it's Cook with a save. Williams brings it in. McLean. Both teams cold at the start and out of bounds to Ohio State.
McLean is not a scorer. He should not take that shot from out there. He's a slasher. He's a tough ball player. He's thick in body. Most of his baskets are scored within 3 feet of the rim.
Kind of a Charles Barkley body, and he's 6'4", husky, quick feet, good defender. Williams on Redd. McLean has Scooney Penn. And he's cut off at the pass, and Johnson will be called for the foul. Lucas Johnson, the sophomore from Des Plaines, Illinois.
Kruger wanted that to be called a jump ball. It was close to a jump ball. And the arrow favoring Ohio State now. They would have got the ball anyway.
Penn triggers it in. George Reese, who served as a 6th man earlier in the season, has it picked off by McLean, and Williams with a solo. So this team, the Illini, leading the Big Ten in steals, and they come up with one early and a 5-2 lead. All points by Frank Williams.
One of the reasons why they can be active in stealing balls is because their bench is so deep. As I said earlier, it goes 11 deep.
Redd pulls up for a 15-footer, and Michael Redd, Silky they called him in high school here in Columbus at West High. Bradford.
Ooh, what a quick release.
Two-pointer. 7-4 for the Illini. Corey Bradford, he said his best days are with Grandpa down in Memphis fishing. He did nothing like that. Grandfather helped raise him, and he says he's his idol.
He thinks it was 3. I thought it was close to 3, but the refs were using eye contact with each other, and none would make the move. So now they'll go to the monitor, I believe. Or no, they're not going to the monitor.
Clearly
no,
a 2.
Clearly 2. Good call by the referees.
He's wearing the shoes you have on. It'd have been a 3. But he's got the full size.
But very, very quick release.
Now the officials today, Jim Burr, Steve Welmer, and Gene Monchi.
Here's the replay again for our audience. Here we go. Now watch the 1 foot just steps over that line. Watch how quick he releases. Bang!
Scooney Penn was right in his face yesterday. Jim O'Brien in practice telling his players that you can't just go out there with your hands to the side. When Bradford has the ball, get it up into his face.
And you got to fly. You got to fly at him, go by him, and let someone else pick, and you pick up rotation on the weak side defensively.
It is a 2. Score remains Illinois 7, Ohio State 4. 16 minutes left in the opening half, and we have our first timeout. Month of February, the Illini trying to make it perfect. They are 7-0 this month and have held their opponents to under 56 points a game average. And A.J. Guyton in that big win at Indiana earlier this week held only 3 points. Hard to believe that when you saw what Guyton did against Michigan State in that dramatic overtime win yesterday.
You can never second guess Bobby Knight. He sits out A.J. practically half that ball game, and Guyton comes back and scores 34 points.
Cook comes up with the rebound. Lon Kruger was charged with a timeout because of the challenge on the 3-point shot. You saw clearly it was a 2-point shot. That timeout then goes against Illinois. The Illini up by 3. McLean into the lane, has it batted away. And Red 2-on-1 to Brown. And the foul.
Beautiful fast break. 3-on-2 that time. Nice passing.
McLean with the foul for Illinois.
Here they come down 3 lanes. Man in the middle kicks to the left. Then it goes over to the right. Couldn't finalize because he was fouled by Johnson.
McLean's second foul early, and so Lon Kruger is going to go to his bench as Brown at the line. Dick Enberg, Al McGuire in Columbus, Ohio, campus of Ohio State University. We welcome those of you who have seen the Georgia Tech Jackets win their game against Wake Forest. Bobby Kremen's team.
I told Bobby not to retire. I told him to fight him, and he wins his last 2 ball games, I think.
Ryan Brown hits both free throws, and with 15:31 remaining in the opening half here at Columbus, Ohio, it's the Illini by 1.
The road to the Final Four is sponsored by Nextel, how business gets done. Mountain Dew, who reminds you to do the do. And by American Express, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
6th-ranked Buckeyes of Jim O'Brien, 19-5 on the year, 10-3 in the Big Ten. The Illini of Lon Kruger are 18-7, 10-4 in the conference, and lead 7-6 early. Both teams cold, and a good steal by Michael Red, and the Buckeyes lead for the first time.
They'll keep it up there now. Once you get a little smell of blood, they'll keep the pressure up court and try to turn them over again. Now they release the pressure.
Red, the leading scorer for the Buckeyes, just under 17 a game. Krupala's in now. Demir Krupala, number 33 for Illinois. And Cleotis Brown turns it over. Scooney Penn.
They're going to come back with pressure again. They're getting the run going.
Penn pressuring Williams. Krupala trying to give him some help with the screen. Bradford to Williams. Brown doing a good job on Corey Bradford. Inside to Kupala. And it's out of bounds to Illinois with 9 on the shot clock.
Here's the 2 quick steals that turned this game right around. There's Red, I believe, getting that steal. Now when they go back, they turn it over down deep with Penn. Penn gets his head and arms out front and follows all the way through. Gives him a 10-7 lead.
Oh, Cook got away with an extra step. He's blocked by Johnson. Johnson, who leads the nation in blocking shots. Brown at the other end, and the Buckeyes on a run. Lead now by 5. 8-0 run for Ohio State. Timeout, Illinois. Ken Johnson with a rejection of Cook. 1 and 2 for Johnson. His first of this game. He now has 134 this year to lead the nation. 7, we're at the Value City Arena, the Jerome Schottenstein Center, 19,500 in its second year, a brilliant facility. And Ohio State has played very tough basketball here. They've lost only 3 times in 31 games.
What happened in that spurt that they had is that Illinois put in 3 fresh ball players, and O'Brien called pressure up court, which is an excellent call when there's multiple substitutions.
Bradford is well short, but it comes back out to Illinois. Kupala. Boy, the Buckeyes really playing vice tough defense.
Plus they brought the crowd into the game.
Marcus Griffin making his first appearance, number 52, one of the brilliant young players on this Illini roster. This is Griffin. And the foul underneath. That Reese raised his hand. Is it Reese or Johnson? No, it's on Johnson. That's his first.
Reese made a senior move that time, trying to take the foul onto himself and maintain Johnson at limited number of fouls.
Illini on a drought, over 2.5 minutes without a point.
Buckeyes have just gone to a 2-3 zone. Excuse me, Dick.
Illinois led 7-4, but Ohio State 8 in a row to take the 12-7 lead. Frank Williams from 3-point range. Rebound Red. 6'6" junior Red from Columbus, Ohio. And Ben, there is no doubt who the general is of this team. He runs the show.
When in doubt, give him the ball. He'll hit the free man. Who's ever open is going to get the ball.
Good patience by Ohio State.
He's a big-time leader, Penn.
Penn for 3. Rebound falls in the lap of McLean. Here come the Illini. Checked it by Johnson, number 3.
Frank Williams tried to readjust his shot that time, and Johnson still caught leather. Watch him readjust his shot, and Johnson gets all leather.
Johnson, 6'11" senior from Detroit, Michigan, raised by his grandmother, very shy as he came here to Ohio State. Williams has to use extra arc to get it over Johnson. And it's taken down by Boban Savovich. Number 21 for Ohio State, making his first appearance. Red and Reese to Penn. Now Savovich sees an opening, and he traveled.
Well, I thought he took one extra step, and they did call traveling.
Jim O'Brien, a Terrier tough, a former star collegiate guard himself, out of New York City, played at Boston College, played for Cousy and Chuck Daly during the course of his career. Well tutored.
In high school, he played at St. Francis Prep in Brooklyn.
Griffin can't hit. Red has another board. Here's Penn. Savovich passed up the shot. Johnson, good pass to Savovich. But the Illini are there, and at last touched Ohio State Savovich.
Johnson made an excellent pass that time. Interior passing, bouncing is the best way to do it.
Timeout in Columbus. Davis, where the Buckeyes lead by 5. At the end of any collegiate season, coaches don't get much sleep, but it's really tough for Jim O'Brien. He has a ruptured disc in his back, very painful. He can hardly move. And what a history he's had in fixing programs. Goes to St. Bonaventure, and he wins the Coach of the Year in the Atlantic 10. Then on to Boston College, the Big East Coach of the Year. He comes to the Big Ten Coach of the Year. He's been outstanding everywhere he's coached, 49-year-old O'Brien. His team has held the Illini 0 for the last 8 from the floor and shut them out the last 4 minutes. And Bradford, trouble with the handle. Gets it to Williams. 11:22 left in the opening half. Ohio State by 5. Inside to Griffin. Lots of hopping in there, and eventually the turnover.
Griffin be a much better ball player if he would fan the ball out every now and then after he gets it down low in the pivot. It's like the big black hole. Once it goes in there, it never comes back out.
And to Sovovich. Michael Redd to Reese.
Dick, the game has gotten very, very physical. Every cut they're being bumped, and every offensive rebound they're being pushed. Both teams.
Will Dudley has given Ken Johnson a breather. He's now in at center for Ohio State. Michael Redd on the run. 10 in a row now for Ohio State. A football 14-7 score. So as going by, you'll note that it was Wake Forest defeating Georgia Tech. We had an erroneous score up earlier. The Deacons the winner today.
That's where Griffin has to be, who scored that last basket. Down low, very tight to the basket.
14-9 for the Bucks. Move by Dudley does not result profitably for the Buckeyes, and here come the Illini. Williams, the freshman. Bradford, sophomore. And Griffin, the junior, and a reach in by an elbow from Griffin. The foul is on the Illini center, his first.
Griffin had decent position, then tried to do a spin move and use his elbow or arm to hook, which we call a swim stroke.
Ken Johnson returns for Ohio State, and also making an appearance is number 34, Chobe Osokolic, a freshman from Brojevo, Yugoslavia. Sovovich and Osokolic on the floor now for Ohio State.
Osokolic has good skills. He can score and he can pass.
Johnson right back to Brown. Stoney Penn, he's a... Oh, what a move on Harrington. Put him down, but he can't hit the three-pointer. And the foul will be on Sovovich of Ohio State. No, that's a fake.
You talk about being faked out of your pants or out of your jock. Watch this. Zip. Down he goes. No one touched him.
Working on Sean Harrington, the freshman from Elgin, Illinois, for the Illini, number 24. Full court pressure, modest pressure. Penn, Hawking, Williams.
Choking. I think it will come in. I think he's over half court. Nope. They're settling back.
Illini trailing 14-9. Approaching the 9-minute mark. Williams inside, and a bump from Johnson. Or was it Penn on the reach?
Foul on number 32,
Ken Johnson, and that will be his second foul. And so, as Coach Al McGuire indicated early, like to get 30 minutes out of Johnson, Ohio State, but the Illini with tremendous bench strength on the front line figure to put the pressure on him.
If we get 30 minutes out, the Buckeyes will win. Williams in that last play there, it's good for you young people out there, guys and girls playing basketball. When he heard the whistle go off, he ended up putting up a circus shot, which allowed him to get a two-shot foul rather than just taking the ball out of bounds.
Williams with his 6th and 7th points, and he pulls the Illini to within 3. Michael Redd back in for Ohio State.
Redd's more of a scorer than a shooter. He can score anywhere at any time. Just off balance, open, penetrating.
Ooh, almost stolen by Williams and actually forced the turnover. Buckeyes thought it was deflected.
I don't know if Williams might have been out of bounds. I don't think he was. Being possible.
It was at our angle. It was tough to call, and it stays in the Illini hands. And here come Lon Kruger's team, trailing 14-11. Fans certainly didn't like the call. Cook from way outside.
Yeah, Cook can bury him from three-point land, but as he matures and gets tougher, I think his outside shot will become a liability because you want him down low.
6'10" Cook with a three-pointer to tie the game at 14. Penn darting inside. Sokolic saves. 10 on the shot clock.
Oh, nice move by Penn.
Penn from the free throw line gives Ohio State the lead 16-14. 4 points for him. Harrington helping out in the backcourt. Williams, lucky, got the ball to Cook. Fans wanted to travel.
Shot clock down to 10.
Krupala can't hit the three, and here comes Penn the other way. Sokolic misses the easy shot. He was in between the layup and the dunk.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite decide.
In that position, you should really dunk the ball in the size of old Sokolic.
Thing is, at the other end, Coach, Scooney Penn with a rebound. He's averaging 4.5 rebounds. The smallest man on the court makes the steal. Pilfers it from Harrington, sets up Red, and it's 18-14 as Michael Red now with 8 points to lead the Buckeyes.
Could be one of the best backcourt combinations in college ball today.
No argument there. And a reach in by Red, and this is what annoys a lot of Big Ten fans, and it's not just here, it's everywhere. A little tic-tac foul outside and the big banging inside, no whistle. Scooney Penn.
Here's he steals, and all of a sudden he gives a fake here. Watch him hit this runner. Very difficult shot. They hit the read, the layup.
Summary. 6:43 left in the half, Coach. A 18-14 game. I guess the story is a cold shooting.
No, it's not as much cold shooting as that the top 5 teams in the Big Ten play physical. You can't cut without being bumped. Offensive rebounds are shoved off. The referees can't even control it. I believe somewhere down the line there has to be a readjustment. There's too much weight room type of thing here. Too much muscle. I enjoy this type of game, but it's just too many bumps out there. No one gets a clear shot.
18-14 Ohio State. Cleotis Brown, jumper, and a battle underneath, and the foul against Illinois.
It looked like Cook just jumped into the pack that time.
First foul on Brian Cook. Any of your players at Marquette in your career use the weight room?
No, very seldom. I don't know if we had weights. I think the weight room, personally, everybody's going to say, oh my God, what I'm saying here. But I think the weight room's overdone. This is basketball, not football.
Harrington with a steal, ahead to Brown. Back outside, and Harrington for 3.
That's his game. I'm surprised Sean missed that shot.
Cook saved it. Cleotis Brown the third. 6 minutes left in the half. Tough to get his shot off for Illinois. Look at this tough defense. Red on Bradford.
Belly button to belly button.
And the pass goes off the knee of Harrington. Turnover. Illinois. They're 8.
Bradford held the ball too long that time.
Ohio State by 4. And Harrington and Red get hooked up, and the foul goes against the freshman Harrington. His first.
Harrington's a little bit too small to cover Red.
That's 5 fouls on Illinois. Ohio State with only 4. Penn, three-pointer. Rims out, and Cook calls in the rebound. Here comes Bradford for Illinois. Takes the three. There it is. And Corey Bradford has 58 straight games in which he's hit a three-pointer.
He used the pick excellent that time, rubbed his man off on it. Bradford just put Red to the ground with an elbow.
Reese misses. And Brown comes up with it for Illinois. The Illini with a chance for the lead. Bradford weaving his way, looking as if he wants the shot, and takes it. And out of bounds to Ohio State. He really wanted to give Illinois the lead. You could see that in his dribble.
Once he made that three-pointer, then he knew the next time down, I'm going.
Massive substitutions by Lon Kruger off the Illinois bench. Williams is back in. So is Lucas Johnson, who has 2 fouls. Marcus Griffin in, along with Sergio McLean, and Harrington stays. And here comes Doylan Robinson, the sophomore from Rackham, Ohio, seeing more playing time for Ohio State. He's considered a top defensive player.
Williams will try to push Penn to one sideline or the other, preferably to the left side.
Brown, Reese, Robinson, Scooney, Penn, and Red. Not there. Good follow-up by Red. Went after his own rebound and draws the foul.
Usually the guys around 6'4", 6'5", are great offensive rebounders. Bigger men cannot adjust for offensive rebounds. Usually put a body on them.
When you looked at the stat sheet at halftime or at the end of the game, offensive rebounds, how key was that stat?
I thought outside of turnover, the most important other stat is the offensive rebound. Because it gives you, in today's game, it gives you a fresh clock, it gives you confidence, and it makes the other team wear out on a defensive end.
The turnover is an extra possession, and an offensive rebound amounts to an extra possession.
They're both really 4 points, Dick. 2 points they could have gotten, 2 points you might get. That's right.
Illinois leading 6-2 in that statistic today as Red gives the Buckeyes a 19-17 lead. He now has 9 points to lead all scores.
McLean is free on the other side. Good decision by Griffin not to shoot it, get down low, and then get it to Griffin. That's where Griffin likes it, right there.
Entry pass by Harrington, and Griffin makes the basket to tie it at 19. 4 points for him.
Here Penn giving instructions, then get out, get out. Big-time lead of Penn.
A steal by Frank Williams, who leads the Illini in steals, and he converts it for the lead, 21-19. The Illini led early, and then that 8-0 run by Ohio State, and now Illinois back in front. 9 for Williams. Brown, good aggressive move to tie it up. Brian Brown now with 6.
Brown could fear Williams in back him, so he double pumped, used his body as his defense. McLean wants to penetrate.
Nice move by Harrington to set up Johnson for 3, and no foul on Red.
Reed just knocked them down.
Red at the other end and can't handle the tall pass. Time out in Columbus, 2:56 from the intermission. The Illini, the Buckeyes tied at 21. Of course, a great player here at Ohio State, so obviously a slight interest in the outcome of this one. Critical, both these teams with a chance for the Big Ten championship. The loser probably will have difficulty sharing in that honor.
We had Clark many times in the old building.
Yep, we did indeed. St. John's Arena. That housed the great teams of Fred Taylor, Jerry Lucas, John Havlicek, Mel Knoll, Larry Siegfried, Bobby Knight. 1960 national champions. Foul. Buckeyes with the body.
Robinson.
And the first on him. 21 all. 2:40 left first half.
Get the ball to Griffin down low.
Bradford, was that a tough three? He now with 8. Couple of threes for Bradford, and the Illini enjoy the lead. 4 for 11 for Illinois. The Buckeyes shut out from beyond the arc. Inside to Reese, and a whistle. Reaching on Griffin, I believe.
Watch this quick release. It's almost unbelievable. 1001, 1002, about a second and a half. He releases, excellent spin, all net.
Barely had seen the rim when he had let it release. He knew where it was. Second foul. And Marcus Griffin of Illinois. George Reese at the line, and back comes number 34, Brian Cook, the 1999 Illinois Mr. Basketball Player of the Year, and for Ohio State, Brent Darby, a freshman, River Rouge, Michigan, replaces Dorman Robinson. First time we've seen Darby. I think he's going to be a star. He'll be Sconey Penn's replacement next year. Reese, 1 out of 2. His first point of the game, 24-22 Illinois.
You know, Red and Penn haven't been out of the game. I think they're getting a little bit tired.
Cook again, the big center, 6'10", hits from outside and has 6 points in the game. Couple of threes from Brian Cook. You don't usually see that from a man 6'10". Penn, Darby, and Red for 3. Too long. He's been long most of this half.
Darby got away with a push-up that time on Cook.
Darby had 4 straight 3-pointers against Indiana earlier this year. And the block inside. Brian Cook from Lincoln, Illinois. 3 straight Mr. Illinois basketball stars have matriculated at Illinois. Their future very bright. As we said, no senior starters today. And no significant play from any seniors. Frank Williams on Sconey Penn. Darby.
Darby doesn't want to shoot.
3-2. They beat the clock, but it's a 4 shot, and Lucas Johnson comes up with a rebound.
It would have been a violation. The shot did not hit the rim.
Illinois by 5. And Bradford goes for the 3. Gets it back. And they'll set it up again. Final minute of the opening half.
You got to always know where Bradford is. I'm still saying that they should have given the rest to Penn and to Red somewhere in the first half.
Red was out about a minute and a half, Coach, but not Penn. McLean trying to get inside, and it's batted away by Will Dudley. So 45 seconds and change. 19 on the shot clock. Jim O'Brien's seen flashes of brilliance by his Buckeyes defensively, and then lulls, and then Bradford again. And Corey Bradford with 3 trays in this first half, 11 to lead all scores. And Illinois has opened up an 8-point lead here at Ohio State. A key Big Ten battle. In a row, they've taken an 8-point lead here at Ohio State.
There's no reason for Bradford to have 3 from 3-point land. You can let him, you can overplay him, let him go for 2, and let him pass the ball into the pivot. They are a half a step slow on covering the guards and not extending their defense enough.
29 points for Corey Bradford against the Buckeyes, 17 and 20. So he's played well against Ohio State. He now has 79 threes this year. He set the Illini record last year with 85. Seems certain to break that. Illini goes to the tournament.
Dick, if I was playing against Illinois, I'd go to a box 1 and put man-to-man on Bradford. I wouldn't let him beat me from 3-point land. They're going to take the clock all the way down to about 6 seconds.
About 2 seconds difference in the clock and the shot clock. With 5, it's Penn, and he hits a key 3-pointer. 30-25 Illinois. They'll have to hurry. Williams from midcourt. Oh my! Almost rattled that one in, and that is the end of the first half here at the Value City Arena. Illinois 30, Ohio State 25. Now let's go to New York. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg, Pennzoil at the half.
Favorite going into the tournament, but in the end, it was UConn who opened wide the country's eyes. Now it's my turn for some eye-openers, starting with Illinois. The Illini have rediscovered their fight and have rolled to 7 straight wins behind a youthful but skilled backcourt duo of Corey Bradford and Frank Williams. Temple has won 13 straight, including a victory over #1 Cincinnati last week. Will this finally be the year for John Chaney, the wise old owl, to finally howl? Meantime, Pepe Sanchez has Temple fans worshiping his moves. Florida ended the weekend on an 8-1 tear. Along the way, the Gators took big bites out of Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. And here in New York, St. John's is reinventing the city game. The Red Storm weathered the Eric Barkley suspension and lashed out for 7 straight W's, including yesterday's thriller at Duke. Now add Utah State and Fresno State to the mix, season with a little Pepperdine, and you're hot. Time to show some reverse mode, starting with the national champs. UConn has looked more like you can't. It's a whole kaleidoscope of ups and downs that makes you realize the difference a year makes as well, like day and night. Speaking of which, Indiana started out red hot, but faltered of late, losing to Ohio State and Illinois. Bloodied but unbowed, the Hoosiers upset Michigan State yesterday. Perhaps that win could halt the skid. North Carolina State is also in free fall, dropping its last 6 ACC games.
All right, Clark, you, the owner of the Crystal Ball, outside of the automatic bids, where are these teams coming from for the tournament?
Well, we're going to look at the major conferences and take a look at the number of teams I think will receive at-large bids. And remember now, every conference you see does get an automatic bid. These are the at-large possibilities. The ACC going to have a down year again, I think, in terms of numbers of teams from their conference. The Big 12 looking very strong, and I think the SEC is as solid as any conference in terms of number of teams that will get in the tournament this year.
K-E-double-L-O-double-guess.
O-double good.
The official 64-team tournament field will be announced on Sunday, March the 12th at 6:30 Eastern Time. You will hear it first, and you'll hear it live exclusively here on CBS. Mark your calendars for the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show 2 weeks from tonight. Thank you for joining us on Pennzoil at the half. We'll get you back down to Dick and Al in Columbus for the second half of Illinois and Ohio State right after this.
Word from your local station.
By Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers. Solomon Smith Barney. See how we earn it. And by Budweiser, made with the freshest all-natural ingredients for brewery fresh taste.
Back at Ohio State, Illinois leading by 5 points. Dick Enberg along with the mellowed former madman from Marquette, Al McGuire. Al, what's got to happen in the second half for Ohio State to pull this out?
For the Buckeyes to pull this out, first of all, I think they could put defensive pressure up court. They almost had a knockout blow in there in the first half, and they let it settle back. And second, they got to put a blanket on Bradford. They can't give him any more three-point looks. Just can't do it.
Here's a look at Pensico's halftime statistics. And Illinois, interestingly, 6 3-point field goals, 5 from inside the arc. So they are dangerous outside, as we expected them to be.
In the battle of the guards, Williams and Bradford got 20 points combined. Penn and Red, 16. That's surprising.
And you throw in Brown's 6 as well. They had 22 from their 3-guard offense, did Ohio State. 22 of their 25 points, so nothing inside for Ohio State in the first half. They start with Scooney, Penn, Brown, Red, inside to Johnson, and he throws it away, looking for George Reese. Illinois with Bradford and Williams in the backcourt, McLean, Cook, and Lucas Johnson, same 5 that started for Lon Kruger.
I hate to say this so early, Dixie, but this is a big stop right here for Ohio State. They can't let the fight in the Illini score now.
Good job by the number 13, Brian Brown, to knock it away from Bradford, who tried to save it on the sideline and dribbled it off the line. Turnover to Ohio State.
I think you'll see them alternating fresh legs on Bradford and not allowing that 3-ball.
Red, aggressive move to the basket.
Nice.
Mike Michael Redd pulls the Buckeyes to within 3. He has 11. Redd now has scored in double figures in all but 3 of his 91 career games at Ohio State. Brilliant as a freshman. Good pass by McLean, and Cook able to tap in his own rebound.
That was very close to offensive goaltending. I don't know if that ball was outside of the rim when Cook tapped it.
8 points now for the freshman Cook. Redd, he comes out firing. And the three-pointer pulls Ohio State within 2. 14 now for Michael Redd.
And Penn will give him the ball now. Once he's smoking, he keeps it going to the man that's hot. McLean wants to drive the middle. He gets his shoulder ahead of you, and that's it.
What a play. High off the glass with a kiss, and it's 34-30. First points for Sergio McLean.
McLean starts the fight in the line because he's tough.
10 to Redd. Can't make 3 in a row, and whoa, Reese with a push on Lucas Johnson. They just overlook those in this league.
In the Big Ten, that's just a feather touch.
Out of bounds to Ohio State. Boy, you would have loved to coach this kind of ball.
Oh, God.
Reese, oh, he muffs the pass in bounds. He was wide open, tried to shoot before he'd really caught the ball.
Yeah, Johnson got his hand in there, caused some problems down low.
34-30 Illinois.
Great ball game, even though the scoring's relatively low.
Williams, a 6'3" freshman, running the show for Illinois. Cook takes it inside and then back out to Williams for 3. Rebound Redd. Redd all the way.
But you know he's getting away with it, carrying a palm. Each time he gets to the top of the key, he gives that hesitation and palms the ball. Excellent pass.
And Johnson is fouled. He was grabbed on the rebound. But Michael Redd, red hot at the start of this second half. 7 points.
He's boiling right here. Watch. That's where he palms the ball, right there.
But they don't call that anymore, Coach.
Well,
that's part of the game today.
Yeah, I guess I'm going back to knee pads and high shoes.
In the running track around the top of the gym, right? 16 points for Redd, but 7 here to start the second half. And he's got his hands in there defensively, and finally dual possession, and the arrow points to Illinois.
That's a pretty tough jump ball there. Won't be too much yelling because the arrow still goes with Illinois. That's, yeah, it's Lon, I think, is right in this situation.
34-32 Illinois. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Each team with 10 conference wins. Illini have 4 losses. Ohio State 3. Northwestern the lone game remaining for Illinois, and McLean blocked from the backside. Look at him hustle to get it back.
Oh, is he tough? Too bad he doesn't have a perimeter shot.
Williams, oh, what a rejection by Johnson, who comes down hard. And a foul on Penn, and oh, I hope Johnson's okay. Did he land heavily on that left arm and wrist?
Yeah, left arm and wrist when he came down. He skied, he was up so high, I think he got a little nervous coming down.
His 4th block of the game.
Watch him sky, he gets off his feet real quick. Got hooked below by someone, it might have been Redd.
Cook, the freshman at the line. Nice soft touch for him. He's averaging just under 9 a game. That's his 9th today.
He has big-time quickness and can score from 17 feet in.
And he's shown he can score outside the line, too. 2 3-pointers in the opening half.
But I think that's more a liability than an asset.
Yeah, ultimately, the coach would just soon not take those.
He might.